summer, knowing there's nowhere to go. 'Cause I am happy on this island, wanna be my farmland. I don't ever want to leave, I'm in a tropic club. I remember the ocean moon, memories die out too hard. But we were traveling the mountains just to find the loudest seas. We set down by the fire, knowing we could aim higher, but we didn't know that yet. So if you want something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here I am, 'cause I've been laying under palm trees, waiting for the summer, knowing there's nowhere to go. 'Cause I am happy on this island, wanna be my farmland. I don't ever want to leave, I'm in a tropic club.
Hello folks and welcome to the FRL Endurance Championship here today for round 2 at Spa for the Spa 2 hours. Today I'm joined by the wonderful Chris Stevenson in the box. Hello Chris, how are you?
I am good, thank you, sir. I am looking forward to today's race. It could be an interesting one.
Yeah, indeed. We are looking for potentially maybe a mixed wet and dry race here today with a few cars on the grid, a mixed variety of them. So we've got Alexas out there, we've got Bentleys, we've got Porsches, we've got everything out here today, and it's bound to be an interesting one here today. Well, I've got some information here today for you before the race. So the circuit, the Spa-Francorchamps, was originally a what's it called? An 8.7 mile circuit. Well, it used to be, but in 1979 it got modified to be a permanent 4.3 mile circuit as we see today. And it's named. The circuit is not in Spa, which is it's not a town, but it's in the town of Francorchamps in Belgium here today. It's gonna be an interesting one here today as we see the Panda Racing team here today, who are one of the winners. Well, the winner from last race here today, from Paul Ricard. should be an interesting race here for us, and I'm looking forward to it. Anything to say, Chris?
Yeah, mate. It's going to be a good one. Spa's always a good track for people to be. Well, I don't know, like fairly aggressive. You can drive it in a lot of different ways. There's a lot of skill involved in Spa, especially
Yeah.
when it's wetter and you got wet Eau Rouge and Radion. It's interesting.
Yeah, it can be difficult, depending if you have some if you know how to race the circuit and you know the little tips and tricks. Like sometimes at Eau Rouge and Radion, sometimes to overtake someone down the Camel Straight, you might lift and then put the power back on early, so you get the run down the straight.
Yeah, there's always a risk to that, running wide and doing which F1 driver was it that smashed into the wall?
Land Norris.
That was it?
In the wet, it was.
Oh, in the wet, yeah. Yeah, I meant in the dry.
Yeah.
The big crash a few years back.
Oh, wait, Antoine Hubert.
That's the one.
The F2 driver who sadly passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was unfortunate.
And Juan Manuel Correa, who was in that accident as well.
Yes. So qualifying has
anyway,
just started. 15 minutes.
Yeah. So far it's looking like well, timings aren't in, but Tillman's leading the chart already. But that is accurate, to be honest. While Robert Kinney is still in the pit lane with.
There's a different
Harrison.
strat. There's a different strat. Some people get first out, get on the track, get the laps in, and there's a few that wait for a nice good gap. There's a couple that might even start from the back today. It all depends on what people think is the right thing to do.
Yeah, that's more of my strategy. Start from the back and have the most fun.
Exactly.
But I think Robert Kinney's just trying to make sure his car works with his lights going on and stuff. But anyways, let's get into the racing side today. So a few of these drivers are on their flying laps now, and we're on board with Tillman at the moment, going up Eau Rouge and Radion. Now onto the Camel Straight. If you really want me to talk them through the qualifying lap, then sure. Tillman's going straight down the back stretch.
Camel.
The Camel Straight, yeah, you got me there. Let me just get on board with Tillman and we can see what he's doing. So it's just moved. I'm gonna have to quickly go shift back.
We are now on board with Kilman.
Great. Yeah. Is it possible to do the rear view cam, like the in the air chase cam? Possible. Thank you. Yeah. So going down P1 now, which is like you got to get close to the curb, don't go on it, and then you run out wide. Not exactly like Tillman did, but yeah, use that curb like you did. This corner, brake before the curb. Brake entry late. You can use some like curb and then entry late into here, so you can get the best exit to the next corners here, which will lead up to the final chicane. Yeah, so this corner you can go flat out, and it's kind of nice one if you get the line right. Going through here, obviously full flat. It's a little bit twisty, and then if you get your line correct, sometimes you cannot, and we'll see quite a few track limit warnings around here today, where people can often mess up the line and go wide. The track limits is if you go past the curb and you're not on it, then that's track limits, I believe.
That would be correct.
Final chicane. Yeah, that's I noticed it when I'm playing Spa in ACC.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm going to pull up a Spa map name.
So that's at the moment Mr. Tillman going fastest with a 2:20 point something. One.
That's not bad. That's a good lap.
That is a good lap on a track this cold. Yeah, it's looking good. Epo going fastest with a 2:19.0.
That's very good. If you press shift insert, it can change the standings, I think. That's what James told me the other night.
Thank you.
That works. And Bangya, if I'm correct, is going fastest now today. Oh, I've got to sort my standings out as well. Return to garage so I can see all these. Yeah, Hangya. Followed by Loesch, who won the he won Paul Ricard the endurance bit in that 3 hours. Paul Ricard, he won that with his teammate Max. I'll find his last name, but I remember he was called Max. Anyways, P3 so far is Maliki in the Aston Martin. I know the Aston Martin's decently strong around here. I'm just watching him now, and he's just overtook someone.
Oh, no, he backed out of that. He backed out of that. He had a. He was catching
he backed out.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're on board with Loesch right now. Remy Loesch, whose teammate I will find out now is Richard D. Richard. But I remember he won Paul Ricard with Max. Oh, it'll come to my mind later on during the race. But yeah, he won the race with him and Max something.
Just going to go to Mr. But oh god, I'm going to butcher it, and I'm so sorry. Bademchi, who is on a flyer of a lap right now. He's currently 2 tenths up on his lap.
P6. Badenchi. Badenchi. I don't know.
I think it's Badenchi.
Yeah.
I think it's Badenchi. I'm going to go with Badenchi.
Yeah.
Tuck won't hurt us, don't worry.
Yeah, so folks, if we do butcher names, please tell us in the chat.
Yes.
Yeah, we apologise and tell us in the chat like how it should be pronounced. Like, you see in the dictionaries. Yeah, keep it like that.
Yeah.
Anyways,
the phonetic pronunciation.
Yeah. Well, anyways, we're on board with Benamechi. Final chicane bit and crossing the line. Is he going to improve on that lap? He does improve, but not in any position. Yeah. So where is Keddy raced in this race?
Keddy is racing this race. Let's see if we can go and find Keddy.
He's with Badecchi. He's just a teammate. So, yeah.
Hello, Williams. Nice to see you, mate. Wait.
Yeah, hello.
That's James.
Yeah, it is
Oops.
James Williams, isn't it? Well, anyways, who are we watching now?
We're still with Bademchi at the moment.
I'm going to call him Bademchi by accident.
I'm going to go to Mr. Paulie because he is on a flyer of a lap. He's also 2 tenths up on his previous lap.
I need to get race director.
Oh yeah, I can see all this stuff. It's amazing.
I may have to do this. But anyways, yeah, this Paulie looks like he's going to get a flying lap in the new Audi. Yeah, it is the new Audi, isn't it?
That is the new Audi, yes.
Well, have you got the new Challengers DLC?
I do, yes. I really like the new Audi. The new Audi is very, very nice to drive.
Do you reckon it's worth it getting the new Challengers DLC?
Oh yeah, definitely. For 5 cars, pay £9. Yes.
It's better than iRacing. 1 car, 22 quid.
Tell me about it. I just had to buy another one today for a Nürburgring 24 race I've got later on.
Yeah. But yeah. Anyway,
Loesch is on another flyer. He is 5 tenths up. He is half a second faster on his lap now.
Damn you. So when I commentate in another league, there's this guy called Dracky. We normally call him Dracky with the data. We might call you Chris with the data. you've literally got all the data. It's so good.
Yep.
Anyways, Loesch looks like he's just gone off the track.
Yeah, I think he's going to call it.
At Blanchmont.
We're going to go to some of the ones a little bit further down the field. Let's have a look at Mr. Parison.
Is he in the Simstock? Yeah. So him and his teammate came second in the Paul Ricard race. They were really quick, and it came down to the last minute before Loesch stole the qualifying spot for P1. But they were very quick last time out, and I don't think Paul Ricard was a strong track, so this track might be really good for them, and they can hopefully improve massive amounts.
The McLaren is very good here. It's a very good car everywhere at the moment. A lot of people are saying it's OP. Did he do better? He did. He up from P26 to P24, 221.6.
Yeah, to be honest, I think they've entered 2 cars into this race, so I will try and find what other number their other one is. The number 7. The number 7 was very, very quick.
Hangya is
Hangya is winning right now. He's on the top of the leaderboard.
He's got another flyer lap coming this way. Is that raindrops I see? No.
If it's raindrops, you might see it on the countdown at the top, let you know the weather forecast.
Yeah.
Top right, yeah. But yeah, Hangya is just following the car ahead. I believe that's the ZDR, as he might just get penalised for track limits there, going a little bit wider than possible.
I can tell you whether we got a track limits one in there. No, he didn't. That was okay. That track limit there, you can put all 4 wheels on the green as long as you don't come off the green on the other side.
So as long as the 2 wheels don't go off the green.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a very lenient track limit there.
Yeah, Blanchemont's quite harsh, to be honest.
Yeah, we're gonna stick with Hangya here because he's up on his previous lap time again. Oh, he just lost 2 tenths in that corner. That's a shame.
That's an L.
FRLACC is on a stonker of a lap at the moment. He's doing some pretty quick lap times.
I feel like we should watch a few cars through Blanchemont. I've got that up on my screen now. You can see a few of them going through here. Quite a speed, to be honest. Looks amazing. To watch
Transition over to the second camera. There we go.
Yeah. But yeah, it looks amazing seeing all these cars come through here, and it's you just see the 34. Is that the 34? Yeah, and 420 that should just come through. There is a pack coming up soon. Should we go through the track backwards a little bit? Let's see where people are. Yeah, we see these come around now. The BMW and another BMW. That's not a rare one. But yeah, it's going quite smooth here today at Spa. Track temperature is 26 degrees with 0 kilometers an hour of wind. As I say that, the track temperature drops by 1 to 25.
We could end up with a fully dry race today.
It could be, but right now qualifying is at 3 PM and on the Sunday, and on the same Sunday, bear in mind folks, this is the same day in the game. Don't worry, it's not Sunday today, folks. You're not missing out today. But in the in-game right now, it's Sunday at 3 PM. But it's going to be Sunday 8 PM when the race starts. So it could be night halfway through the race, and it could be raindrops. We've been told by the stewards, or not stewards, the admins, that there is a possible chance of rain here today.
Just back with Hangya again, as he's just about to.
Yeah, cool.
Come through. I have a track map up. Why am I not using it?
Well, I'm looking at the scoreboards. Hangya's still there, and Poe's 2 tenths off, followed by FRLACC in the Aston Martin, who's 4 tenths off there. So it looks like Hangya's going to make it through with a solid P1, followed by Poe, FRLACC, and Loesch comes in for P3. With a lap time that won't beat Hangya, but it will definitely bump it up onto the podium step for the.
If Hangya gets the bus stop chicane right, this is going to be looking like a 2:17 lap time.
Ooh.
Does he do it? Does he do it as he crosses the line? That is a 2:17.97.
Oh, geez, that's quick. And
that is 4 tenths faster than the person in Mr. Poe in P2.
Well, yeah, they have one more chance at this if they cross the line about now. So that 420 car is the last one to possibly get through. 420 might not even get into it, as he's going into pits now. So that 34 will be the last car to be racing. Can we get on board with the 34 if possible, please?
We can.
Where's 34? P34 is apparently not. Oh no, it's P18 R Parsonen, which is a teammate of K Hanginger. So they're going up Eau Rouge and Radion now, looking for a great opportunity to thing. And Robert Kinney has just said my qualifying's over. I'm P27, so he looks like he's not going out for another run. Looks like Loesch and everybody else is in the pits. Hanger's just trying to finish his lap.
We've got FRLACC still out.
And there's a Ferrari on the inside of Hanger, who was really struggling there. But yeah, Hanger going through the final turns. Well, not the final turns really, but the Fagners and Campus now. Yeah, going to Campus now. Then into Paul Ferret and up to Blanchimont. Can he steal a few more attempts to extend his pole lead here today at Spa?
Just a quick shout out for Poe and FRLACC. They are on exactly the same lap time for qualifying.
Why, they actually? Oh jeez, yeah they are.
It's going to be a tight field up at the front. It's going to be a good racing up the front. And good racing.
Now they're coming into the final chicane now. Well, it's just called chicane. Is he going to do it? Is he going to improve his lap time here today?
Yes. That's good. That's going to be a good lap time. That is going to be a 2:17.825.
That's a very big increase for an already top standing. Can we review R Parsonen if you're not already? Who's just coming up to the chicane now. Hopefully he can finally get some good manoeuvre into the chicane to get him some more time. Over the curb he goes.
It's a good exit.
He could get the lap.
Not quite, no. That was unfortunate.
Anyways, folks, we're here today at Spa, and it's about to be a race day. Well, it is now. As we're going to go into the race session. So, do you when I'm just going to wait for it to turn to the thingy while I eat my burger. I've got a burger that's sat next to me. So I'll be occasionally taking a quick 30-second break to eat a massive chomp out of it. But I'll run you through the grid today.
Yes, can you just do the track thing?
The what do you
the
want
up hover one, the top hover one.
Oh, like the oh crap. Sorry folks, just some technical issues. So like this.
That'll do. Just while I sort this out. Sorry, it's my first time streaming and commentating, so bear with us, please. Right.
No worries. Well, P1 we have K Hangya.
Wait a second. We're going to do this professionally. Cool. We're going to do this professionally. Right.
Yeah.
Grid walk time.
Cool.
Let's go.
First of all, we have K Hangya followed by E Po in the BMW. In P3, we do have M FRLACC in the Aston Martin, followed by Rossetti in the Ferrari. In P5, we have Loesch and Hellman in P6. P7, we have Badamecki, and in P8, we have I'm sorry, but I'm gonna try and do my best. Suzuki. In P9, we have Roger, and rounding out your top 10, we have Jacqueline in the Audi. In P11, starting your double digits, we have Moore in the BMW, Tadema in the Aston Martin, Ekman in the BMW, followed by Van der Kurt in 14th in the BMW. In 15, we have Hepburn, and P16, we have Zoltan. In P17, we have Scruton in the 444 McLaren, and in P18, we have Lee, and in P19, Winkler. Round out your top 20, we have Parisson in the 34 Simsock, and in P21, we have Taylor, who will be doing his best to try and get up the grid here today at Spa. In P22, we have Texeria, followed by Wetzler And in P24 we have Nicholas Weffer. P25 we have Thompson, followed by P26 Phillips. In P27 we have Kinney in the 14 Lexus. In P28 we have Ilamoha. In P29 we have R. Magnussen, followed by Petrovics, Lloyd and DeLuca in P32. Thank you, Chris.
No worries. As we watch the
Well,
grid
anyways-
on the warm-up lap now.
Anyways, the race is about to start. I'll get a lovely overhead camera if you want to. We can get these coming through the lap now. Oh jeez. I have to P21 on me going. Which is Taylor. Where's Taylor on track? He's in an Aston Martin. Sorry folks, it's going a bit weird for me, but I'm getting there.
Just watching as the cars warm up their tyres.
Yeah, the best strategy to warm up your tyres around here, well, especially anywhere really, there's no real nick to it, is just try and basically just brake a lot and then speed up and then brake. It'll get the brakes working and it'll really heat the tyres up.
A lot of good lucks going out there. Shout out for good luck for Gavin Scruton. Good luck for Tug. Good luck for the Dead DR boys from Tommy Dong. Beautiful name. Love that, Tommy Dong. Thank you for the follow, everyone who followed. That was a very quick succession. I didn't keep up with it. My apologies. As we watch them now.
Yeah, they seem to go quite smooth now.
The
Especially
track
through
has
the,
cooled down a lot.
Oh yeah,
The track
yeah,
is much
geez.
colder.
It's 8 PM and it looks like it's going to be a cloudy race today so far, as an Aston Martin just getting a little bit ahead of himself at the front of the pack, but it should be resolved soon. Chris, are we alright to get a turn 1 view of me? I'll provide a turn 1 view, yeah?
Yeah, yep.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to watch the launch and I'll switch over.
Yeah, I've got an area view of turn 1.
Yep.
Cool. But yeah, these boys look like they're going to get some real good speed coming into turn 1, and then hopefully, if everything smooths out, they can hopefully just make it through. Rossi, I'll get it down, I'll get it come up Aruj and ready on.
Good wins. Are we watching for that?
Yeah, can you see my screen just
I
yeah,
can.
like that?
Yep.
I'll have it like that, so yeah. Well anyways folks, it's about to go down. They're going through, well the front of the pack's going through Blanchimont now. Well, gonna go up to it now, and your race leader, Hanya, will he keep it controlled on the start, and not just the start, through the whole of the race? I'm looking at the chat now, pray for a nice clean start, think of the stewards. Well,
Yeah, we within the driver's briefing, they had a good warning
A good
about
talk to
turn 1. And
Yeah.
Radio La Rouge, do not try and go free ride up Radio La Rouge. I can tell you from personal experience, it doesn't work.
Unless if you're willing to use all runoff and then when it closes back up, cause a pile-up, which I doubt anybody would want, unless if you're a bit maniac. Anyways, they're coming through the chicane, well they've already been through the chicane now, well yeah, they're coming through, and they're going in for the F1 turn 1, but I'm going to be watching from Orouge and Radion.
We're just going to watch the launch. As the
And
lights go.
No, it won't be now. It won't be now. It'll be on the start. They do it on.
Oh, they do it on the F1 line. Okay. I forgot.
Yeah, they do it on the GT. So basically before Orouge and Radion.
Yep.
Just before there. So where I am now.
Hopefully get a good view of the start here. Everyone lining up. The lights go.
No, and the lights will turn soon. And it's...
Green light, green light.
The race is green, the race is green. They're off and away, down into Eau Rouge and up through Radion as we're on board with some people going through this turn. Absolutely splendid. Looking absolutely fresh. We see everybody
Beautiful
gets
first
cleanly
corner.
through there. As, yeah, we're back to Robert, not Robert, back to Chris.
Yes, a bit of contact into turn 2, 3. Just the BMW being a little bit ambitious on the outside, McLaren shutting the door. Nice clean run. Hangier's starting to pull away. Jump back further in the pack. Got some tight racing going on a little bit further back. Audi goes side by side through Brussels. Around the outside. Bit of door banging going on.
Yeah, Hangier's really getting the gap away now. Especially, I'll get the gap up in a second, but yeah, already 5 tenths, 4 tenths, roughly around that. We'll be pulling away soon enough from that. And it looks like it's going smooth. Any contact warnings? Does it show up on Race Director?
Not as of yet, apart from my race director has just crashed.
Oh, well, great. But anyways,
I'm bringing it back, don't worry. I'm on it.
we are watching currently Paulie trying to manoeuvre his way round Loesch for that P5 spot. It looks like Loesch might have lost his spot on the start. Actually, did he? I've got to think. But Banameki is on the back of Paulie soon as they go through the uphill section towards Blanchimont as Hangier is just making his smooth getaway here today. It looks like the Ferrari switched places with the Aston, or had a little bit of a look down the inside as they're going through. Are we allowed to watch Hangier if you've got free hands?
There we go, we're up with Hangier now.
Yeah. So going down into the official turn on now, and they started. It's weird, Spa. They started the corner afterwards.
There has been an accident further back with Zoltan and Winkler.
Yeah. Can you put it on broadcast, if possible, please?
I can. Let's go back and watch that. If it works. I'm not guaranteeing anything at this point.
Well, anyways, we're on board with Hangier on my screen at least. He's going down into turn into the hill chicane bit. Well, it's not really uphill anymore as he's just cleared it. Going through the corners quite smoothly, and he's going to go down Bruxelles, as I would like to call it. But anyways, he's looking like he can get some smooth getaways here today, and the BMW is on his back, Poe's on the back of him, looking like there could be a potential battle coming up if Poe can keep this pace up soon. Could put Hangier under some pressure, especially might be using those tyres up, as sometimes McLaren can be a tyre eater. I know it can be, especially around Brands Hatch.
Definitely, it's a handful around Brands Hatch.
Yeah, it's a fun one to drive, but it can kill your tyres within an effect. But yeah, right now Hangier's got the fastest lap, but it's only been one lap of the race. Be interesting to see if Poe can get. Oh, and there's a Lexus that's spun. What's it?
No, that was a replay. I'm on your camera at the moment. Just focus on what's going on your camera. I'm just trying to sort this out.
Okay, cool. So Hangier's going through the final chicane now. Poe's behind him now, going a little bit wide on the exit there. All looks smooth down to turn 1. The source braking point looks fine for both of them, and behind of them seems to be a battle between Loesch and the Aston Martin of Bilicki, number 26 and number 59, as Paulie gets a bad exit and allows Bademecki to get a great entrance into Origin Radio.
Yeah, following up from that, a bit further back, still on your camera, Ollie.
Yeah.
A little bit further back from that, we've got Mr. Durazio has a 15-second penalty for a collision earlier on in the race.
Oh, geez. Yeah, he won't be looking forward to hearing that one.
No.
Last team bit especially. Following that pack, which might be opening up, allowing him to go down the inside possibly, but around the outside. But the door wasn't open enough for him to go down the outside this whole time. Going down into Brujeles, our guy is going. I've got some news from our stewards. Car 14, aka Durazio. Car 14 was hit in the rear by Durazio, which meant Durazio got a 15-second penalty.
Ouch.
So that's not a very good one. Anyways, going back to our leaders on my camera, and we can get there quick enough. Hangier's getting a nice getaway as he does a little sim twitch coming out of there, but he's still making some solid moves. Hose gaining a little bit, but then somewhere reducing it as Loesch is on the back of Bilicki in the Aston Martin, using all the runoff to get the best exit through Blanchimont and up to the chicane, looking for a manoeuvre down the inside possibly. No, tucks back in and for the chicane, stays behind.
Just going a little bit further back, we're going to jump to my camera again for a minute. We have, I hate this, car 669 is chasing down
one thing to interrupt you, car 57 has hit car 53 in the rear, causing damage. Car 57, 15-second penalty. So that's not very good.
No, not at all.
As
we watch a side-by-side up Eau Rouge. Possibly? No, they're being sensible. Well done. Good movement there. But the Porsche is on the hunt for that McLaren.
It was an interesting choice to choose the Porsche around here, because in recent news, the Porsche hasn't been very good around Spa, especially in ACT. But it looks like the Porsche is tailing behind Bademecki, which is a teammate of Keddy, one of the FRL admins here today. We are 3 laps into the race, and it seems like we've got a clean start here today, with Hanya in the lead, almost a second in front. Should be nice and clean so far. Well, anyways, right now, Hanya is just storming away, like I said. But further on the back grid, the 669 Porsche is chasing down Bademecki for that P7 position. Wait, if I'm correct. Oh no. Yeah, for that P7 position as they go through the Flagners and into the what's it called? And it looks like there might be another penalty. Car 47 drifts wide, clipping the back end of 477 and multiple other vehicles. Car 47, 25-second penalty. That's too much for him to comprehend, probably. As we see a penalty potentially for our car 47 piloted by Taylor, which ain't a good news for him.
No, definitely not.
Is it possible to go back on my camera soon? Yeah. On board with the 669 Porsche, and they're going through, going to go into La Source now, braking behind quite late, and Bademecki goes wide, allowing the Porsche to go down the inside, potentially.
The McLaren just gets the better drive out of that corner. It always will.
as we see the Porsche kind of struggling a little bit, but again is on the back of the McLaren. Can he get the exit down here today? Is it a potential overtaking manoeuvre for the Porsche? As we see him go down the Kemmel Straight and into the upper hill chicane, which is called the Les Combs. McLaren is still sealing off as we're going to quickly switch the camera. Actually, the car behind of the 669 has got a 15-second penalty, which we've already covered. So the 669 won't have to worry, as well as Badamecki. So I'm presuming they won't fight too hard with him, but hopes he won't. They won't. He hopes the 57 won't go too far ahead, as Tannemer, if you remember, is an absolute beast in FRL.
He is, definitely.
He's so fast, sometimes you don't even see him. But anyways, I'm going to join Winkler on cam in the Bentley as he's chasing down Van der Keur in the 313 BMW. Looking like he might be, could be an opportunity for him today as they go around the like mini chicane. As the BMW's on wide, he's crashed into the wall. Wait, has he? Has he? Oh, this is confusing. Yes, he has. Van der Keur is in the wall and has lost bunches of places, and it's not going well for him today. At the thing, Chris, you still with us?
I'm still with you. Yep, just on your camera at the moment. Ooh.
Yep. Car 107 hit the rear of car 522 on the exit of the bus stop. Car penalty for car 107, 15-second time penalty. So Winkler, the one that we were seeing right now, that's not good for him again. But there's a BMW behind him, and he's looking for the Bentley as a potential prisoner in the back of the grid here today. We're going to quickly switch on with the BMW now. Going through, going down to Rouge and Radion now. The American BMW. Rouge, Radion, they're both through nicely. The BMW goes a little bit wider. Do you have race control up? Or is it still?
I am working on it.
No worries. But yeah, the 215 looking for an opportunity down into the Les Combs, but it's not quite there, as they all use that green curb there, and the Bentley using all the track limits there to his advantage. But then they go down into blue areas, and the Bentley seems to pull away. We're going to go on board with that 669 Porsche, who's let Tannemer pass, but is still there for the taking, that opportunity for P7, as Tannemer's got a 15-second penalty like we covered, but he wants to be in Badamecki's position here today at Spa for a 2-hour endurance event. Anyways,
we are back with my camera now, Ollie.
Yeah, cool. Is it possible to share your screen, or is it gonna?
No, I'll do it.
Yeah, no worries. Well, anyways, folks. Also, just one thing. Make sure you have your, which is just F2. If you press F2 one or two times, it might change it.
Fix it. Alright, we're back.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, guys. It's my first time doing all this, so you'll have to bear with me. I apologise.
No, you're cool.
We are back.
Well, anyways, who are we on board with now?
We are currently on board with a 669 Porsche.
Yeah, who looks like he's doing all right now. As Tannemer's looking down the inside. He's gone down the inside. Not Keddy, but Badamecki doesn't know what to do. As
as we go, this is very close into here.
Pretty sure I'll get some photos of this later on tonight. As I'm going to save the replay, and in a little bit we're going to go back through the start and see what happened. Which I don't think much happened, but
Let's have a look and see how it's going further back down the grid. Oh, it's very tight further back down the grid.
Is it? Okay.
A nice pack of cars.
Right now we're on board with Hepburn in the number 404 Canadian car in the Aston Martin. He's making his way through Radion now and is looking like he's going to eat that Mercedes up, driven by Ian Thompson. Down into the Les Combs chicane. Is it a potential opportunity for overtaking? Yes, it is. Down the inside. Is he going to make it stick? And keeps it under control for the most part. Yes, he does. He's through and he's out. As we see, is it possible to? Yeah, cool. Ian Thompson going to hunt him down through the relays, and looks like someone's got a penalty. I'll get the reasoning for that. As James's
15-second penalty for car 2, causing a collision.
Yeah, car 2 clips car 309, causing the car to go sideways. Car 2, 15-second penalty. Stewards are seeming a little bit angry today, but I guess it's necessary for him to really give out some penalties. Let's have a look at the Twitch chat. This looks crisp now. Yes, it does. As it's streamed by Chris. Chris always makes things look crisp.
Crisp.
But yeah, we're on board now with Zoltan in the Hungarian car of the Lexus, hunting down the Lexus ahead actually, which will he make it ahead of and as we have one mandatory stop, as you can see on your standings board. Oh, I'm just witnessed a horrific crash with the 34.
Yeah, we were just watching that.
And yeah, what happened? And it looks like Ian Thompson is out on the second. Ian Thompson's got a 15-second penalty. Wait, did we cover that one?
We got that one.
Okay. Yeah, cool. We will get on. I'll get a replay of that soon. As Ian Thompson goes and pits on my camera at least. Now, what lap was that? So I can come back to that now.
I think I have it.
Lap 8. I'll run a replay of that in a second. I'll tell you when it's available.
Currently we're on board with Texacara, who's having quite a quiet race. He's kind of in his own little bubble. Kerman's on the hunt for Jacqueline, running. He's pushing it. He's two tenths up faster.
Yeah, I'm on board. If you're free to watch.
There we go. We can switch.
Yeah, so they're going down the back stretch, going into Blanchimont now, and Prisons gets the inside, closes the gap, and that's where it happens.
Just a bit of a gamble, that one.
Luckily, the 340 managed to get out of the way, as we'll see Ian Thompson come over this bit here, folks. Yeah, oh, he's just there. Yeah, it looks like he's got some damage.
Yeah.
But anyways, back to the racing.
Back on board with the 669 Porsche. This has been one hell of a fight all race so far.
Yeah, isn't he fighting Badameki, as well as we covered Tadema. Has Tadema pulled away now? Is that a good
Tadema has pulled away
ask?
now, yes. He's pulling away.
So, yeah, it looked like Tadema might be able to, if he pull away so much, he might be able to clear that 15-second penalty and still be out there.
It's going to jump back to Hepburn.
Hepburn, cool. Yeah, so Hepburn right now is in this Lexus, is it? Hold on, I have to get this pulled back up.
Hepburn
in the Aston Martin, sorry.
Martin.
Yeah, following closely behind. No, Welzer is following closely behind Hepburn, and it looks like there could be a potential opportunity. Can we go to Nicholas Weffar in P19? Who's behind Zoltan now, going down into Blanchimont now, as we've got. Yeah, so I've got a penalty thing. Car 215 attempting an overtake on car 313. No room to make. Car 215 5-second penalty because he reduced because
just as Mr. Wafer makes an amazing move into the bus stop chicane.
Yeah. So car 215 has got a 5-second penalty, but it's been reduced because he gave the place back within a sufficient amount of time. So car 215's not going to be happy about that, but he got away cleanly as it's K Tillman who's got that. Anyways,
jumping back to
Ron
Phillips again on the back of this 3. Oh, Parisnan going for a move, gets it done before a Rouge.
Oh, a car's in the wall there. Replay of that's coming up now. Hold on. We will change cars, folks. Oh, hold on. What's that? Just a car casually in the wall there. Oh, we didn't cover this one. Is this Loesch in the wall? Loesch is in the wall. That's it. The race leaders from last time was in the wall. Please, wait, are you on my camera?
I am now.
This is just a lap before. Loesch in the wall now. Bang. That's a bad incident. That, and he I'm not supposed to laugh, but he skills it into the marshal area to recover his car and gets away as that Porsche is there, and we see potentially another incident soon. I'm just trying to find that one.
While Ollie does that, back with the racing. It's all starting to spread out a little bit now. We've got a fight going on for P18, P19. Phillips has come back at Fevar. Sticking tight with each other.
I'm presuming James might send me a few penalties. The stream you switch to is not as good as the main one for your info. Don't switch. Okay, yeah, we won't switch. Okay, guys. Yeah. What's it? Chris.
Yep.
They're saying don't switch because the quality isn't as good.
Yep. That's fine.
Okay, yeah. Car 522 tries to go left hand side of car 202, who's on the curb. There was no room. Car 522 hits grass, hitting car 202. Penalty car 202, 10 seconds. So that's not a very good way for him. As I'm just gonna watch your stream now. That's alright.
We've got a battle for P17 through Wetzler and Phillips right now. Very close to each other. McLaren's going to get the run down this straight. Sticking it around the outside. Can't quite get it. The Ferrari's just too good on the brakes. Staying with him though. It's going to be a good fight. Looking at this now. Gonna jump back up to the leaders, see how they're getting on. Hanya with a 1.6 second gap to the car behind him. Not quite as commanding lead as we would have thought, but a lead nevertheless. Poe right behind him.
Do you reckon Hanya's playing like a conservative strategy?
I think he probably is, yeah. I think that's the way to play it whilst you're up in the lead. Conserve your tyres, conserve your fuel.
But yeah, there could be a wet period in a few, maybe about half an hour. Well, not half an hour, but like in half an hour, there could be some signs of some wet things going to go on the track.
Quite possibly.
Maybe some rain clouds. But yeah, I'm just eating a burger right now, which I've left to go stone cold because it's been so exciting commentating here today at Spa for this 2-hour endurance event at FRL. But are you guys talking about potato chips? I guess we are. Anyways, we are on board with the 669 Porsche now, as he's going through the what's it called? He's going through the final corners now. I mean, not final. Wait, what am I saying?
That would be
Les
Lecombe.
Combs.
Yeah.
Yeah, Les Combs chicane and into Rudelis. I don't know how to pronounce that.
It's
so,
Lecombe. And then Brussels.
Brussels. We're going to call it Brussels now, as it's confirmed. I'm gonna load up ACC so I can just see some things.
Yeah, go
like
ahead.
stuff. Is. But yeah, it looks like there could be an interesting battle further down for P19, potentially for between Scruton and Harrison. If it's possible to switch those, please. Which one to? Which is Scruton and Parisian. And Loesch has come out. Has he? Or is he keeping that damage? Brave strategy from Loesch.
Loge has been in the pits.
Has he?
Yep.
Oh wait, is there a pit window? Oh yeah.
There is. It's not open yet.
Yeah. FRL. So I can just really see this. But anyways, folks, right now Poe was trailing behind. Now we've switched to Jacqueline in the Audi here today. Going through the bus stop chicane and seeing if he can get some good speed to trail away from that BMW who has a penalty, but is going smooth now. Anyways, I'm looking at some of the battles on the grid, and it looks like Petrovic's car behind looks like he might be enjoying this battle for P20, well P19, as Scruton's just gone past. And there's been a 5-second penalty for car 305.
10-second penalty.
10 seconds as James BMs me. Car 305, not the first incident he's been in, has attempts an inside overtake of 304. 305 unstable and causing 304 to spin. Car 305 a 10-second penalty, as we know now. So that's an unfortunate event for them here at the Spa-Francorchamps circuit, and potentially we could see some rain soon, but it doesn't say in the forecast. But how the admin set up the server today made it so it could potentially rain soon, as right now we're on board with Phillips in the 340, the Fight Line GT car, who's going through Les Combes.
There's been a car off. Car 313 is off.
Okay.
Trying to get there.
313 is car
Just
25.
rejoining now.
Yeah. I'll get a replay and see what happened. I'll give you a basic. Right, I'll give you a basic loadout of what happened here at Les at Spa. So basically, he's trailing back an Audi and into the I forgot what it's called, but it's before the corners leading up to Blanchimont, and that's where the replay cuts off. So he must have spanned the car. To get past. But anyways, we're on board with Eli Poe, if I'm correct. It might be El Poe. But he's running the number 69 BMW in P2, and he's trailing behind our leader, Hangya, by 2.1 seconds. So it's not a close fight at the moment, but is Hangya just keeping him in his tail? So maybe when it comes on the pit stop strategy, he can just go, especially because he's on the conservative strategy, I presume. As what lap times are they doing now? If I can look now. Sadly, there's no note of it here. But right now, I'm on board with Winkler in the Bentley. He's just getting away from Hepburn now, who's 7 seconds behind. trying to make every more time up on the cars behind. But anyways, how do you think the race is going so far, Chris?
It's been a close one. I think there's a lot of close cars. Sorry, I've been so quiet. I have been struggling with Race Director again. It keeps crashing.
Okay.
We've got a fight going on for P25, 24 and 23. I do believe. No, that is P10 and P9. I apologise.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so Chris, what other things are on today at the Spa? What other battles are there going on?
There's quite a gaggle of cars. P6, Damer. He's in a little bit of a gaggle of cars just behind him. That is P9 and P10, which is what I was watching before. Further down the field, we'll have a look. Got a little bit of a battle developing between the 422 and the 34 car. Petrovic and Parisnin, they are pushing each other. A little bit of a gap starting to form now in that one. Other than that, at the moment, we're looking fairly quiet. It's fairly steady race. No real battles at the moment. Weavar and Wetzler. No, that's not Wetzler. That is Loesch trying to make a comeback. Brought back 3 places so far. He's on the lead lap. I've completely lost Race Director, but never mind. Doing this the old school way. There is a battle forming further back, 215. I apologise for the jolting scrolls. Jacqueline coming back at Tillman after an overtake that I unfortunately have missed. The M4 looking fairly comfortable and strong here.
Well, yeah, it looks like the M4 might be a beast around this track in the new updates. That's happened, but it looks like the Audi's going to try and tail him through these corners at Spa as they go up the hill. Wait, do they go up the hill? Oh, it's confused me. But I believe there might be a penalty involving 737 and 669, which James might come and DM me about. And wait, has there been a penalty?
There has been 10-second penalty for causing the collision. I don't know exactly what that's for.
And James has told me car 669 turns into car 737 too early for apex. Car 669 spins 737. Car 669 10-second penalty. The admins on the steward board aren't liking this race at Spa today. They're definitely busy, so don't go in the steward's box. But yeah, right now we can see that Tanamer's up in P6, 669's in P8, Tillman's in P9. So all the penalty people are up in at least the top 15. So they're the fast guys. So they look like they could get out before P25, maybe somewhere around that point, if they have to serve a penalty at that pit stop. Hello, EOA Fresh Brizzle.
It's Fresh Brizzle. Brizzle, hello Brizzle.
Yeah, what he says. But anyways, looks like we could get some smooth running from Angia as he pulls out the gap even more from Ho. As on board right now, we are on board with oh, my Discord's had a
Jacqueline.
Right.
We are on board with Jacqueline.
Yeah, we're on board with Jacqueline, who is just Jacqueline is just behind Tillman, who's in P9, but Jacqueline needs to gain every advantage in this Audi to get ahead of Tillman, as he's got a 5-second penalty. Tillman has, so in the pit stop if these two are racing for it. Tillman will come out behind, as well as the 669 Porsche, which I'm to be honest, when I find a hard name, I'm just going to call them the 669 or whatever car number they've got. But anyways, yeah, Tannemer P6, Radamecki P7.
On board with Paulie now in P4.
Ah yes, Paulie's doing quite quick now, going into La Source. He goes and down to Eau Rouge and Radion here at this gloomy Spa circuit. Listen, Chris, I know they said it was bad quality, but is it alright if we can try and do the thing again? If I maybe up the quality and...
We can try it. We can try it.
Okay, cool. Shall I put it in 1080p?
I'll have a look at it first before I start. It's still very pixely, dude. It looks like the internet.
Is it the internet?
Yeah, I think it's the internet. It's very pixelated.
Hold on, I'll change this up. Would it be better as 480? That might be no. But anyways, we're on board with Paulie still. And,
we are now on board with the 669 Porsche.
Oh yeah, sorry, my bad. I was watching the Twitch stream for a second, as he runs a little bit wide, but it still keeps it at the curb and goes down Brussels, I'm going to call it, as we did. But he's going to go down the hill to Pouon now, and he's going to use all the track limits possible as he gets quite close to that green line there. And he's going to try and not use as much curve as possible. Yeah, as he goes into the Les Fagnes chicane here at Spa today. But anyways, it looks like it could be an interesting fight for... wait, who could it be an interesting fight for again? It could be an interesting fight for P27. R. Taylor and Roger are having a little scrap at each other, as cars having a blast at the time at Spa. I'm gonna
now on board with Tadema again.
Yeah, now on board with Tannemer. I believe it's called Tannemer, not Tadema. I don't know. We'll see if we can get a post-race interview with him, see how it is. But what is there to talk about while it's quieting down? Actually, no, it's not quieting down. For P14, it looks like there's a 3-car battle for something. As one of our drivers here today, Robert Kinney, has lost all internet, so he's had to back out of the race today. Sadly, he doesn't have a teammate to carry on with him, but he'll keep going soon.
On board with
anyways,
TX Sierra. Just watching as the cars go around. There's a fight for P15. 3-car battle.
Ooh.
Winkler losing out on that one, I do believe.
Yeah, the Fanatec Bentley isn't doing totally well today here at Spa. But it looks like we still could have some battling. But anyways, right now we're on board with Hepburn, sorry. As we go through Origin and Radion in Aston Martin. Is it possible to get a review camera, like chase camera?
There we are.
Oh, yeah, now going into the Les Combs chicane. Now following that Lexus up ahead of Welter, and it's looking a little tight as Nicholas Wefhart is behind him, and Munker's got a 15-second penalty as well behind. It's looking quite interesting today, especially for the lead. I don't think much is going on at the moment in time, but Poe has gained an advantage as Paulie is on the back of Rossetti, 7 tenths or so behind him if it's possible to switch to Paulie in the Audi. Yeah, Paulie getting a not so good exit into Eau Rouge now, as we're on board the TV cams now. Going through Radion now over the hill. Can he make that run stick into Les Combs chicane? I think it would be a bit too far back to gain an advantage. But anyways, it looks like it could be an interesting battle for some people.
Yeah, definitely looking that way. Everyone's settled down into a rhythm now. It's looking like the pace is coming out fairly consistently.
Yeah. Anyways, it looks like our battles might have slowed down, except for Hepburn in the 404 Aston Martin, who's looking for a bit of a fight now. Can we? Is it possible just to quickly try the switch on the thingy?
Let me get on the car first. Hepburn chasing down Wetzler. Let me have a look. It's still very pixely, dude.
Yeah, I've got my screen up.
Yeah, it's very, very pixely.
Right, okay. Never mind. I'll still keep AC open. I may have answers to that. I just need to talk to James.
No worries. I'll keep the stream entertained.
No worries.
So, Hepburn still chasing down Wetzler. Really pushing hard for that. Using all of the track there. Webvar getting on the action because they're slowing each other up a little bit. Go back further up the field. Oh no, back to these two. Move could be made coming out of bus stop chicane.
Well, anyways, folks, Robert Hepburn is on the back of that Lexus now, going through, well, going down the straight as Phillips goes in the pits now. Hepburn's on the back now, going through Radion, as we've seen many times before, and into the Les Combs chicane on the back of that Lexus. He might not have the straight line advantage in that Aston Martin, but might be able to use that one chance of maybe getting that manoeuvre done. Tucks back in nicely. He's really trying to push it now. Look at the limits as he's got a Ferrari behind him of Nicholas Weffar, who's not having a Nicholas Weffar is not having a good race being stuck behind these two as the Lexus goes wide, allowing for the Aston Martin to go down the inside, and we'll get the manoeuvre done for the next corner as Weffar's all over the back of that Lexus now, as it's looking like it's going to be too wide, but now it's not. It's it's too wide into Puon now. As they switch around places, the Lexus goes a little bit wide, allowing the Aston Martin to get down the inside. Weffar's spectating this. Can we get a back with a chase camera of Weffar, please? As they are trying to make a getaway of the Hepburn's trying to get a getaway away from Welter now in the Aston Martin, as we're trying to sort out some technical issues, folks, don't worry. But yes, we are having a look to see, is there any possible opportunity what pit stops people might do?
Some people are going to push it along, I think, try and get the overcut done rather than undercut. It's more effective, especially at Spa with the pit lane being so long. As we talk about that, the Ferrari of Weffar is going to try and go around the outside of the Lexus into turn 1. Not being able to make it stick, compromise his own line there. That's the other thing that intrigues me as well, is all the different strengths of the different cars. They're all they have varying strengths.
Yeah, it's like all of them got different things that they're good at. So McLaren might be a decent all-rounder, and the Lexus might be good at coming out the corners, and Porsche might be good at acceleration.
The Ferrari's gone past on the brakes, just as we were talking about the differences in cars. Can he pull away from the Lexus now? I believe he probably can.
Yeah, probably. As we are watching Nicholas Weffar trying to hunt down Hepburn in the Mercedes ahead, as we get a nice cockpit view now. Yeah, I'm gonna take a small break. Chris, feel free to keep your educated waffle keep going.
As we try and find another battle that's going on at the moment. Let's have a look, shall we? Oh, back to P3. Rossetti has closed the gap to Paulie. Both of them getting a little bit wobbly at the top of Eau Rouge there. As Hangya pulls out another gap. I think Hangya's got this one in the bag unless he messes his pit stop up. Whilst we're looking, what else we got? Battles. We want to see some battles. Car 768, can I get there? Battle developing for P22. Oh, that's a lapping car. Textera. Go around a lapped car.
Yeah, Textera going around the lap car, and Ekman looks like he's going to try and maybe close the gap soon. But Rossetti is a good shout for closing the battle, as 3 tenths on my leaderboard. It says now that green Ferrari followed by that white Aston. Looks good. Chris, do you want to talk more about it, or do you want to move on to the next battle?
I think we should stick with this one for a little while, honestly. I think this one could develop into quite an aggressive battle between between P3 and P5 now. I think Paulie's going to have to try and put a defence of, because the Ferrari will start pushing hard now to get away from that Aston.
Yeah, indeed. Paulie is doing a good job, as Rossetti is looking at a potential manoeuvre, but goes a little bit wide through the chicane, but keeps it under control.
That has just closed that gap between the Aston now. 4 tenths is all that's in it.
Yeah, everything's in it. Now, whoever can get the
exit and the run-up Eau Rouge. The run-up Eau Rouge is going to be so important here.
Yeah. But it looks like Rossetti is not battling Paulie, he's battling Blicky. who's gained a second and roughly around that on your top Ferrari at the moment. Chris, would you like to take us through the grid? If that's all right, or
Yeah,
do you want me to do it?
I'm good with that. So we've got Mr. Hangyer up front by 5 seconds now. Closest next car is Mr. Poe, E-Poe. I don't know the first names, I apologise. We've got Paulie, 15 seconds behind that. The two leaders have pulled out such a huge gap. It's quite astonishing to see. This battle, as we're witnessing, behind Paulie, Rossetti and Balicki. Bademci, Tillman, then P8, Skugoyski. I'm so sorry about your name, my dude. I cannot. My brain will not comprehend how to pronounce that. You'll have to message me later, tell me how it's said. Jacqueline and Carlo DeRaggio. I know that one because I've raced with him before. That's rounding out the top 10. Behind that, we've got Texiera, Ekman, Hepburn, Wayfar, Wetzler, Scrunton, Winkler, Petrovic, Parisman, and Lee in the top 20. Going further back that I can't see, unfortunately. Would you like to carry on, Ollie, for me? You can see more than I can.
Yeah, absolutely. I will. Which position did you get to? Sorry.
P20.
So, out of your top 20, we have Loesch, who looked like he was going to win this race, possibly. Well, was struggling a little bit in qualifying, admittedly, in the Panda Esports car, but he had an early on crash coming out of Radion, but he should be back up the pace now, trying to catch up Lee in P20. P22, we have Emoja in the Bentley, followed by Phillips in the 304, McLaren, and Taylor in the Aston Martin. Roger in P25 in the 420 Mercedes, making his manoeuvres on his racetrack. On the racetrack, as P26 Van der Kurt is in the pits now, in BMW, followed by Ian Thompson, who served the penalty beforehand, and Zoltan, who I presume might have disconnected previously. But that's your grid at the moment, and we are just over 50 minutes through this race, and coming up to halfway. What's your prediction, Chris?
Honestly, I think Hanyer's got this one in the bag. Like I say, unless he messes his pit stop up quite severely, I think Hanyer's got this one. Just through sheer pace. I mean, he was nearly half a second faster in qualifying. He's been stable and sorted the whole race. Not really got into much trouble. So yeah, I think Hanyer's going to do this one. Poe looking good for a P2. The interesting bit is going to be P3 to P10. I think that is where a lot of the movement in the top half is going to be. Further back, there's going to be a bit of a fight further back.
At the moment, it's top 10 all have a chance at podium.
Yes.
If your name's not Hanging or Poe, you've already got the top steps of the podium. But P3 to P10, like you said, is really looking like a good battle at the moment. I'll try and find how much separates them. Maybe it might be a bit of a struggle for the cars in between the 669 and the 737. Well, there is a bit of a gap there of about 30 seconds.
As we catch a battle between Jacqueline and DeRaggio now for P9.
Yeah, go on. Yeah, they're coming through pretty well as they come through. My mind just went blank then. But anyways, we're back with Jacqueline, like we said, and DeRaggio's got a 25-second penalty, like we covered. And the stewards aren't looking forward to this part of the race because there is no penalties at the moment. So
a lot will mix up when the pit window opens, I think, as DeRaggio tries to go for the inside, backs out of it like sensible person. Following him out. You can't dive there. Believe me, I've tried. Doesn't work. Never works. Unless you're in like a GTR or something with amazingly good brakes, you can't dive there. It never works.
Yeah. It can be a struggle sometimes.
Thank you for the follow, Cam Plays. I apologise for the quality of the streaming that has been happening tonight. I have been having massive technical difficulties just trying to keep it running. So you'll have to bear with me. Things don't work like they're supposed to. As I talk about that, the BMW alongside the Audi coming into Lacombe. Does he get the move done? Can he make it stick? Oh, beautiful move. Nice and tidy. Done before the corner.
Yeah, as the BMW goes a little bit wide, but then cleans it. And we've got a penalty for car 17. Car 17 hits the rear of car 33 into the chicane. Car 17, 15-second penalty. Thank you, James, for allowing us to stream the event and giving us live steward info. That'll be a great one. So that's a penalty for who's that penalty for?
That penalty was for. I can't see.
That's for Nicholas Weffar. And the 33 is Ilamoja in the Bentley, who's, if you're on board with him now, like I am, he's got a bit of damage on the front. But anyways, we're on board with Jacqueline now, and we could go back even further to see what's happening with Nicholas Weffar.
Weffar is very broken. He's had a big crash recently.
Is he doing a rally event, or is he...
Bit of rallycross and Ferrari never hurt.
Yeah. I mean, Ferrari should enter a rallycross event and see how well it does. But anyways, what topics do we have to talk about while the race is settling down before the pit window, or maybe the pits? Yeah, it's just a single pit stop. But yeah.
So the pit window apparently is open. There wasn't a pit window designated.
Ooh. Do we have any topics to talk about?
We could talk about our racing backgrounds.
Okay, so
you go first.
I'm Ollie. I've done I think 3 years in Forza Motorsport 7, and then on New Year's Eve, my Fanatec got delivered, and I switched to ACC for the first time, and it was great. I got a good start on it. I joined a few leagues, started commentating to learn like racing. I think I do more commentating than racing at the moment. I do need to do some more racing, but I'm in real life I do go-karting at Hobbs Racing in Winster. I was racing from the store. Yeah, I'm quite good at racing sometimes. Sometimes though. Karting's definitely a challenge. But yeah, what about you?
Well, I've been sim racing 2 years now, near enough. Oh, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
There is a car off. He's rejoined. It's fine. I thought there was going to be another accident there. I've been sim racing for 2 years. Started out in ACC. Slowly transitioning over to iRacing, believe it or not, because I have too much money, apparently. Yeah, I'm considered within FRL to be one of the in air quotes aliens. I don't think I'm that fast, but I don't mind helping. So I don't mind providing coaching and setups and things to everyone in FRL. I enjoy racing with the guys, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm more of like a setup guy. I have a bunch of setups, but I don't know how to use them.
See, I make the setups.
Yeah,
so
I sometimes like make my own and stuff, like base them off ones that I've got. Use a setup sheet and really advance them.
Yeah.
But also we've got a new penalty. Car 420 hits the rear of car 33 going into the double left-hander, which is Puon. Car 420 has a 10-second penalty. It's not going to really hurt their race for the 23 of Roger. But anyways, we're on board with Bilicki, and
Still on the back of this
he's
Ferrari. He is not
he's
leaving it
chasing
alone.
down Rossetti, and these leaders, at least the top 10, probably a bit lower, like top 5, they're going to really push out their stint. See how much can they use those new tyres. They're probably going to try and go to maybe 25 minutes into this hour. As we've crossed the 1 hour mark, do you want to go? Oh, wait, hold on. How long ago did we go for the grid? Probably changed a bit. It's pit stops.
Yeah, I think we wait until all the pit stops are done, because it's going to change up again when all the pit stops are done.
Yeah, halfway into the race confirmed, folks. Get the champagne out. We've got it halfway. Anyways, we will be seeing Bilicki getting on the back of that, getting the back of Rossetti now, going through the long max stretch, but going into Blanchimont now, and seeing how much runoff can they use before track limits, as they use all that curb there, as you can see with Bilicki. Can we get a helicam if possible, please?
Can we get a what, sorry?
Helicam. It's just
Helicam.
F3. As Rossetti comes in the pits.
Rossetti going for Rossetti's following Paulie in for the battle for P3. That is what is happening there.
No, Bilicki might try and do the overcut.
Yes.
As Hangya and Poser are in the pits. So maybe I was completely wrong. They're just trying to make it through the race. Maybe their tyres are just gone. Since they can only do one, well, they're choosing to do only one stop. It might be the fact that it might just be better to not do a double stint.
Yeah, double stints with the new tyre model are very, very difficult. As the leader, P2, are in the pits as well. So at the moment, Bilicki is leading the race. As we watch Paulie into the pits. That is how long the pit lane is. That is how long the pit lane is. It is so long.
Well, anyways, folks, what's your opinions on the race? We're halfway through. Who do you think's going to win? Well, obviously Hangya, but what's your predictions? And also, we do need to go through who's got the best livery towards the end of the race.
Indeed, definitely.
I know last time the Jolly Cola Racing team won it. I don't think they're here today, though, sadly. But we'll try and see if they can pass the crown on to someone else. As right now we're on board with Micah Bilicki, who's leading the Aston Martin through to Blanchimont now, as Tillman obviously has a 5-second penalty. And who's got the fastest lap now?
So far, it's still Hangya's car. So I believe it was Hangya that set the fastest lap.
Yeah, so it's Mego. So yeah, so Bilicki is out in front now. Is he going to go into the pits relatively soon and try and map other people's strategies? As
yep, Bilicki is in the pits. He's in the pit lane.
I think there's a drive-through for speed in the pit lane for. Give me a second.
Parisnan with a drive-through in the pit lane. No, for speeding in the pit lane, sorry. I'm surprised that is not a stop go 30.
Yeah, sorry folks. Yeah.
As Tillman follows Bilicki into the pit lane.
Yeah.
Back in board with Hepburn, who's pulled out a nice gap to P16 now.
Yeah, it looks like maybe our P3 might be well, P3 at the moment might try and hunt down some more time on these folks ahead. You're gonna have to give me a minute though. I'm struggling a little bit.
Oh yeah, no worries. As we are on board with Migo now.
Well, yeah. Migo looks like he's going to do some magical stuff here today at Spa, and trying to drag off Poe, who is, I think, how far LA is Poe? Poe looks like he's going to be around 11 seconds behind, and it doesn't look too favourable for our leaders at the moment as they come into pit lane. Tillman's just stopping now.
Wow, it's such a long pit lane at Spa. Oh,
Yeah.
the Mercedes of Chris Gedman already looking very beaten up.
Oh, Gedman. Oh, he's racing. Oh, he was the commentator with me for the last round of Paul Ricard, and it's what's he done? Oh no!
I think there
Not
may have been a
FRL.
little bit of an off there. Oh, he's really struggling. That's a big one. Crunch.
Switch
Ow.
camera, switch camera.
We didn't see
Don't
that.
disallow
Nothing
it.
happened.
We didn't see that. Yeah, shh. Anybody in Twitch chat, just say you didn't see that.
See
Right.
what?
Yeah, what were we looking at?
What were we looking
Just
at?
watching this. Watching this 444. The nice honeycomb.
There's
at the
another
end of the-
car. There's a bit of carnage happening here. The BMW have shot. Looking a bit flappy bonneted.
Flappy bonneted. That's a
Flappy
That's a
bonneted.
new one.
Yes.
But yes. It looks interesting. Well, do you want to play a game I invented? Just a quick one.
Oh Christ. Okay.
Guess what car I'm thinking of. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
the car that I'm thinking of is it is an Aston Martin.
Yes.
It's got a 4 in its number,
Yes.
and it's and the base of the livery is black.
Would that be Flores' car by any chance?
Is he correct? Yes, he is correct.
Haha!
Obviously, you got me there. But yeah,
First guess. You know, I'm just that good.
yeah. But anyways, folks, we're on board with the BMW of
Gianluca De Luca.
Is he going smoothly in this race, Chris? How good is he going?
Yeah, apart from that 25-second penalty that the car had to deal with, they've not got into too much trouble. The car doesn't look too beaten up, which is good.
Yeah, fair enough. As we just have over 50 minutes left of this race. And
Car
I'll tell you something.
99 is off.
Oh, car 99 is off.
Ekman's car.
Well, I haven't seen Ekman much today.
No, he's been a little bit quiet. As there's a fight between Keddy up in
Keddy's
P6.
I was like, I shouldn't bring stuff outside of the endurance today. But me and Kenny were playing Fortnite the other day,
Oh Christ!
and it was a fun idea, and it worked out because we ended up getting a win on our first go out. But then we all failed. And also we're gonna play with Tugboat pretty soon. However, it's free.
As there is a
anyways,
fight for P22 developing between
the
Richard and
340
Phillips.
340 McLaren now of the Croatian, going down the straight to Eau Rouge and Radion. As we're going to go up the hill now, and let's going to see if the BMW can get any run. Coming on the chase cam of the BMW, please. As who is that he's just been lapped by? Not lapped.
Texiera.
Who's currently
P11.
far ahead.
Yes.
Well, anyways, we're 50 minutes into this race, and car 34 has just cleared this drive-through. But what do you think might happen? How many more like incidents you think gonna happen? What?
There's going to be
Do you
a few
reckon-
more towards the end of the race, I reckon. It's going to get a little bit heated, especially with the
Yeah.
top 10 being so close. I think they're going to start pushing when they know they only have, say, 15-20 minutes left.
Yeah.
See, it depends on what strategy a lot of cars have run. Whether they put their fastest driver in first, or their fastest driver in second, or they're both very similar paced. You just don't
Yeah.
know until it comes to it. Like
Anyways,
myself, I'm terrible at qualifying. I'm just bad,
but you're good at the race.
but I'm good at racing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm much better, more comfortable racing than I am qualifying.
Because you get, I find in public
Oh,
bodies.
as Shot unlaps himself from Phillips again.
That's
It was a little bit dirty. That was a bit naughty.
We're gonna have a bit of a look at. Well, we're gonna see where is Carl Shots, and who did he just lap? Scruton.
He unlapped
Is it?
himself from
X-Hero.
Texiera, yeah.
So the Vodafone car is just getting unlapped. Well, no, he's unlapping himself. There, as we're seeing the
As P7 runs into traffic with his teammate.
Wait, Jacqueline runs into traffic with his teammate.
No, number 7 car, the leader.
Oh, I've just seen an incident. Jacqueline has span off. Where's Jacqueline span off? Oh no, I've messed it up. I don't know where it is. Where's Jacqueline span off at?
It's just coming through Brussels now.
Puon, I'm pretty sure. Oh wait, no, huh?
I don't think that was
He might
Jacqueline.
have spun at the Fagners. No, I want. Yeah, it might have been Fagners. Or he might have spun. Yeah, Fagners.
Skridsy Peck. Sorry if I butchered that name again. Making a move on more into no name, which has a name now, but I can't remember what it's called.
Puon. I call it Puon, but I'm pretty sure it's just called double left Puon. I'll find out for you.
No, this
No
is.
name.
What's his corner now? I'm so confused. I'm so sorry. It's the camera angle. Oh no, I broke it. So now he's coming into Campus, I believe, out of Curb Pourfair. Way off the track. He needs to be careful with that. Very wide line coming through there.
Yeah, I'm correct. It is Puon, and then it's it's.
Oh, I
Puon.
thought it was a corner before. So, Matty trying to catch Keddy, who is fighting with Flores, trying to get through traffic here.
Oh, it's been an interesting race so far here at Spa-Francorchamps. But all things have to come to an end, and this race will come into an end in about 45 minutes, just over that. It looks like it will happen. As right now we're currently on board with the 669 car of, as Chris pronounces it, I can't remember. Chris,
Skridsy Patch. I think. I might Google it, but I don't know.
You might. Maybe. But, yeah, it seems to be so far interesting as we have a few minor adjustments to the leaderboard, but nothing really from the pit stops. As everybody's cleared them now. They've realised, oh yeah, the 1 hour strategy works where you do 1 hour of racing, hit 1 hour more. But anyways, what else is there to do right now as people are just settling in after their pit stops? Chris, do you have any ideas? Actually, I do. Hepburn is on the back of Ekman for P12 at the moment. Chris, would you like to take us through this one?
I will try and get there, my friend.
No worries, mate.
So, watching Hepburn and Ekman for the fight now. Hepburn has been having a really good, solid, steady race. Not gotten into any trouble. can Ekman defend the Aston Martin? I think the Aston is very strong here also. It's a very good car at Spa. As they come through, that's no name. That corner. Down the straight
that was
into
no name.
down the straight into Pouhon.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, Pouhon's that corner now. No, actually no. That's called Rivage.
No, that was Pouhon. Oh, they named it now. Is it not no name no more? Turn 11.
Yeah, it's Rivage.
Rivage.
Wait,
okay.
turn 11?
Yeah, turn 11.
Wait,
Turn 11's no name.
When that's Pouhon.
Yeah, that was Pouhon. They're coming through campus now.
Hold on.
Stavelo.
We're gonna have to. Hold on.
Paul, curve for Paul Fier.
Maybe.
I know where I'm at now.
Yeah.
Next corner's Blanchimont. As the number
I'm
2
thinking-
car spins again.
Jeez.
Not having a good time.
Yeah, especially not having a good time. Especially when can they see another potential battle coming up soon? For the car 47.
Oh, the BMW getting a bit sideways. The Aston Martin on the inside line. This could be it.
Getting him run out. Chris, would you like to take us through this one again?
I don't think the Aston Martin's got it. He might try and send it down the inside. No, being sensible. Trying to get the wide line in so he gets a good exit out up Eau Rouge and Radion. The smart thing to do.
Yeah.
The BMW does have a lot of straight line pace though. Especially here because the gear ratios are so long. So it depends on how much of a better run that the Aston can get up Radion.
But anyways, we've had some news that before the race, the team with Eli Poen has seemed to have some like teammate issues because Eli Poe was supposed to be doing it with another teammate, but there's been some issues, so he's had to solo the whole race if he's still in it now.
Yep, still P2.
Yeah, some issues with the entry list and stuff, but it's been sorted out for next time, I believe. But anyways,
as the Aston is pushing... Oh, it skipped. I've got partial race director back and it's messing with my cameras. As we look at on here, Richard trying to make headways past the 669 car.
yeah.
Where did the battle go? Oh no, Chris Gedman's car looking very broken now.
Oh jeez, that front looking like it's going to catch a bunch of air. Might slow down on the straights, do you think? Do you think it might slow down?
Just a little bit.
Yeah,
Williams'
like,
car,
maybe...
the 34 Simstock car, is not looking too good either. I wonder if they've just been having problems with getting the setup right.
Maybe.
As Reisner is catching Heilman. I'm going to go with that.
What is it?
For P3.
Oh yeah, Heilman, whatever you want to. But yeah, P3 is looking like a strong battle for Hillman and, if I'm correct in saying, it's Reisner.
Yeah, I think that'll be Reisner.
But wasn't that the Hillman car, wasn't that his teammate, Paulie? Yeah, his teammate was Paulie.
Yep.
It sounds like I'm saying he was Paulie, but but the guy's name that drove it was Paulie. Anyways, what is going on with some of the...
Wave Bar has had an accident up at Radion Eau Rouge, the top of Radion Eau Rouge.
Hopefully,
he's out the way. He's well out the way. Oh, yeah, teleported back. He got his car towed back to the pits. That is unfortunate.
Just sent back to the pits. A bit like iRacing. You get sent back to pits and it's like, oh, I have to wait here for 10 minutes now. Something like that.
As we join the battle of Hepburn and Ekman that is still happening. They've been battling this whole sin.
Yeah, Hepburn and Ekman have been battling this whole sin, yeah, like you said.
it goes to show you how much concentration people can have. I really struggle. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I really struggle having this much concentration.
Yeah, the average concentration span is around 45 minutes. So,
as Hepburn gets a penalty for causing a collision. I hope, see if our steward will contact you about that.
Yep, as we're talking about, it does. Car 404 hits the rear of car 99. 5-second penalty as the position was reduced. Position was given back immediately.
Looks like there could be another run on here from the Aston Martin into Blanchimont.
Hold on, Chris. I'm gonna have to take a minute or two break.
Yep, not a problem. Stick with these two for the battle for now. Will the Aston Martin do the BMW on the brakes? I think it might be able to. Really pushing that car hard now, trying to get the inside line, being shut out. Going to try and get the better run through the corner. Try and snatch the inside off of him on the way back out. BMW covering his line very well.
And the Aston Martin keeping a tight grasp on the BMW now, going into last source, and looking like for a mini switchback there as he was trying to use a different line maybe. Can we get chase cam from Hepburn, please?
I may be able to do one better.
Oh, go on.
King? No, what are you doing, keyboard? Let's have a look at the rear wing.
Ah, this is my favourite. And then you've got to do helicam real quick. Helicam. Yeah, cool.
Just gets it done.
That was smooth from.
That was a beautiful move.
No.
I tried.
It wasn't smooth from these guys. It was smooth from you, mate.
I tried.
Get the rear wing, and then you get him going down into turn one, into the those comms. But anyway, coming into Rivage now, and
as the BMW goes
like
wide,
BMW is going to go wide, and
I think that secures Hepburn's place.
Yeah,
it pulls away.
Does, indeed. This is now Puon, these double corners.
Yes. Gianluca De Luca on Paul Moore. Got the inside line, just can't quite do it. Can he get the better run through the bus stop chicane? Try and have the run down into the source. As we look on the rear ring from Paul Moore. Gianluca De Luca gets a much better run out of that corner. Coming up to Radion and Rouge, we'll see what kind of pace difference the EOS car has.
Yeah,
on the straight.
Car might be just a little bit better, but it goes a little bit wide in Radion.
A little bit wobbly.
Uses all the track limits as Paul Moore manages to get a little bit of a run off away from the BMW of Luca, as it looks like Luca might be catching up on the straight and then really gaining an advantage on the rear wing. And down the inside was a little look from De Luca as they go into Brussels. Down the inside, now he goes. A solid move from De Luca, as that's nice and smooth from the guy. He might be wanting to sing Smooth Operator in a minute. But anyways, he's looking for a potential opportunity to get back at De Luca here at Spa today for FRL's Endurance Championship. We're joined here by Chris, as most of you know. But if you just joined us, there's been not much action at the moment, since we've had maybe a few incidents, maybe a bit too many incidents. But
Chris Gedman gets going again after a pit stop.
Yeah, Gedman for the win is what James Williams says on chat. We totally agree here at FRL. But anyways, we've got 35 minutes left of this race. It's coming down to a tight one, and Shall we play one more round of Guess My Car?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, right. So, the car that I'm looking at is is within top the top 10. The main colour is black, but it's got hints of a different colour, and it involves a car involves two drivers. Actually, that's not that easy. It involves a McLaren.
It's Kenny's car, isn't it? 737 McLaren.
Oh jeez, you got that too quick.
I'm on board with him now.
Yeah. Anyways, we are on board with. Oh wait, you're already on board, Kenny.
I am.
Yeah, you're on. Anyways,
How many more?
going through.
Derek Burrow in the car with.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's not Derek Burrow. It's Derek Bruff.
Bruff.
I got told off at the Ferrari World Tour Championship on Wednesday. On like that.
So we all call him. That's why we all call him Dell. So Dell says, how many more big crashes will Chris Gedman have before the end?
Should we take a vote?
We could take a vote.
So can we do polls in Twitch chat? That'd be fun.
Yes. However, I'm not logged into the Twitch website as the stream channel, so no.
Never mind. We'll do it next time. Next time.
We'll get it ready for next time. Yes.
Okay. So if we, how many more do you think? Maybe 0? Hopefully.
I reckon one. One more.
Right, and there might be one. Hopefully none. But there might be one.
So we scroll through.
And yeah, indeed, Michael. Wait, where are we switching to? We are switching to Jalkin as how has the Lamborghini of the Panda Esports team gone on? They're in P19 right now, the 159. So that incident at Radion, that was a horrible incident, but luckily.
Oh, some beautiful soul has done it for us on the Twitch chat.
Who has?
I think Mr. Dell might have done.
Ah. How many more crashes were in the car?
There's not a vote. The correct vote isn't there. Whoever did it, it's supposed to be 69.
Oh jeez. Thank you, whichever admin just did that for us. That's going to be a blast.
Speaking of 69, 69 has just had a drive-through penalty for track limits.
I shouldn't be laughing at that, but jeez, that was a.
That's P2. That is Poe, which means that Reisner may just scrape through P2 here, and Heilman behind him.
We've got a reason why it might be 79, because 79 is his regular race number. So Dell has done that one for us, because he knows. But the thing is though, 60% of the vote has voted for 79 crashes for the end, and there's only 2 that voted for 2. So, jeez.
The AMG is a tricky beast to master though. It's not an easy car to drive.
It's a hard car.
Yeah, it's not an easy car to drive at all. As I believe Reisner has just gone through to P2, I want to say.
As Poe gets a drive through, as we just covered. So that's really gonna not work out for the number 2 car of 2 seconds off the pace, is it? Or no? As drive through round here, it's a bloody nightmare. It's
massively long. You lose so much time. It's a good. You lose nearly a lap.
You're rather basically serving a 30-second penalty at Long Beach.
Yeah.
or at Lime Rock.
Or Donington,
Lime Rock.
for those
Or
ACT
Donington,
people.
yeah.
Because the pit lane's so short.
Yeah, it's like 30-40 seconds just to get to your pit stall, which is a bit of a pain. But anyways, we're on board now with
Keddy.
who we're on board with? Keddy. Come on, Keddy, you can do it.
Keddy is
gain
actually
onto
closing.
that.
He is closing the
Go
gap.
on, Keddy. Well, we're going to need a poll soon of how many positions can Keddy not gain. minus two. Minus two, I'm guessing. So he'll gain 2. That's how maths works apparently now. Anyways.
But now he is within visual range of the car he's chasing, which makes Keddy a very dangerous player. He can see his prey.
Too fast. Even though Poe's got the fastest lap, Keddy's just too fast.
Yep, Poe has done fastest lap of the race is 2:19.1 race pace.
What's it? Are we allowed to do post-race interviews today?
I do believe we should try.
Yeah, sure. Anyways, we've got a quarter left of this race. It's going alright for Mego, the pilot of the Simsockmobile, as me and Chris like to call it, Chris Gedman, like to call it. As Gedman's in the pits now, I think he might have saw on the Twitch channel.
As Keddy just takes 2 seconds out of the car in front of him on this lap.
Oh, you might want to close down the bonnet. No. But anyways, we are on board with Keddy, as Chris mentioned. We are looking for some potential opportunity of overtaking, as Texeria is gaining. Wait, am I the wrong person? Yeah, I'm the wrong person, am I? Yeah, as Scruton is gaining on the BMW of Ekman in the Honeycomb McLaren into P1, and coming out of P1 as Ekman goes wide. Are you watching this? I can't tell. You might want to look at Ekman, because this is a spicy battle from both of them. As we can see these two having a juicy one, as it's down the inside of the floor of the Ekman.
Oh no! Oh, it worked.
Too wide as Ekman yields position to Scruton. Anyways, what other battles? Oh, Jay Flores in the 422 Aston Martin is just been passed by Richard in the Lamborghini.
As Hepburn goes wide.
Oh, Hepburn. Where's Hepburn? 5-second penalty.
No, Hepburn's gone wide. He's really broken the car. Something's not quite right, I don't think. Maybe he's just waiting for a gap to come back on.
No, he's broken the car. He's broken the car.
Yep.
Yeah, he's broken.
Got the car towed back to the pits. That's unfortunate.
Now he's going to have to serve another. Well, he's going to serve another penalty.
Yep, that's 2 minutes and 20 seconds. The car has to sit in the pit lane before it can rejoin. Jeez.
Well, anyways, right now I'm on board with, we're on board with the 444, who's looking at a potential, maybe a potential P10 in this race here today. What's it?
As Keddy gets past Heilman.
Oh, that was an interesting battle. Can we maybe get a replay of that, or is that? Never mind. But what's it for the finish? Can we get a view of them crossing the finishing line? Like
yes.
You know how I had
the I can do
camera?
that. That is not a problem.
Yeah. Go on board with them, and then just before the final chicane, get into that spot.
As Gedman again. Yellow flag car at the bottom of at the top of Rouge and Radion. They're really struggling today.
Car number 3, tree.
2.
Might be car number 2. Gedman! So whoever guessed 2 might have got it right. This, I'm I'm sorry to say it, folks, but
They must not just be gelling with the car today.
there might be just problem with Mercedes. I know he did all right. Well, the car did all right round upper car. But anyways, right now we're on board with the Pauly car, or Heilmann, the German, who's navigating the Audi behind Keddy, and Keddy's looking for an opportunity to maybe get into P2, but the gap might be a bit too far. Psych, it's only 9 seconds. Keddy can really get this one under his belt now. Is he gaining at the in the sight? So totally in the total of this race, we've gone through, how many laps have we gone through today? We've gone through 40 laps today, and it doesn't seem like much, but Spa, it's a long way, the track. Dell puts in the chat, so far it's every time he passes Eau Rouge. Well, yeah, sadly it is. Every time he passes Eau Rouge, he gets into a crash.
Oh, that's in P1. Struggling again. Oh, big crash again.
So whoever gets 2 might be right. Unless if there's a 3 option. Well, no, there's a 4.
As the Bentley very nicely lets Richard go. Richard is on a mission. In the Panda racing car. As we scroll through.
Oh, D-Mac's back in the car after, I think he's just come back in. Not sure. Anyways, we're on board with Harvey Williams in piloting the Simsock reveal, the second Simsock reveal, and it looks like the Simsock car, the one who's leading the race, will be P2 this time on the podium, and it looks like a solid maybe getaway for him. Can we see what the gap is between P1 and P2?
Yes, we can.
It's loading now as we see.
I think there's a lap.
Looking at.
I think P1 may actually be a lap up.
Oh, let's see. No, it's just Mego is going through Oroge and Radion as now, and Resner is going through Blanchimont. So half a lap, maybe.
Big lap.
No, it's not. It's not a full lap.
No, but a big gap. That's what I meant. My brain
a big gap.
stopped working.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll cut down in a second.
Keddy has taken another second out of Reisner.
Oh.
As he's pulled a 3-second gap to Heilmann behind him. As Pocat is catching Heilmann now. This is where it gets interesting.
Now it's just a sprint race. It's not endurance. It's a sprint. And now we will see a potential battle for P9 as more. Wait, hold on. Oh no, a potential battle for P10. What? Hold on. Okay, no, it's just like it just dumped itself. We do have a potential battle for P20 going up 8 tenths between them, and it could be a tight one as we are watching currently P19 Nate Roger, part of the ZDR boy. What?
The Simsock car is not looking healthy. As Taylor is catching them.
Yeah, Taylor's really catching from Kemmel straight to now. Yeah, as Taylor really has to blow down. As yeah, we're seeing a bit of a tussle with these 2 cars, the Simsock Mobile 2 and Taylor, looking like potential battle coming up. Only if we had AWS graphics like F1 does, you can properly tell.
I'm working on it.
I'm working on it, yeah. Go on. But
Not
yeah,
for this race,
we're going
maybe next
into Maybe next one. Yeah. Harvey Williams in the same automobile really struggling as he just blocks the Aston. Now yields position as that could have been a penalty for Harvey Williams if he didn't give any room. But new positions have become here today at Spa. P21 goes to Harvey Williams and P20 goes to Taylor in the Aston Martin. At the moment, can we watch Keddy gain some time?
Yep.
Onto which he's gained from when we first started watching him. He's gained roughly. Hold on, it'll pop up in a second. 7 seconds. No, he's not gaining 7 seconds. Sorry to break it to you folks, but he's gaining 7 seconds. Like, you know, he is going to by the end, and he's gained probably about 2, 3 and now since we first noticed that he's gaining.
Something like that,
This
yeah.
was about 5 laps ago. So
Yep.
he's gaining fairly quick, and Reisner is not going to look very happy at the moment.
Reisner is just breaking into the corner of head of Keddy now. Keddy's got to negotiate a little bit of this lapped traffic. Hopefully he can get around them nice and cleanly. Big dive from Keddy there, hoping they'll just give him way, which they do.
Yeah, if they don't, then that's definitely a penalty compared to the other person. Oh!
Car 69 gets another penalty for causing a collision. And second penalty.
Oh, let me guess, James is going to 10.
Yeah, 10-second penalty.
And who's going to explain that one to me? The admin James. Car 69 hits the rear of car 340 into the chicane, causing car 340 to go off track. Even if you're lacking a car, please be mindful of braking points.
Yes.
Car 69, 10-second penalty. So a unfortunate penalty, but was needed, as Shot gets a drive-through penalty, which is even worse than a 10-second around some different tracks.
Indeed.
As we're reaching the darker stages of the race, as these cars have been told to turn on the lights. But yeah,
Keddy taking another 5/10 out of P2 this lap.
Keddy's really going for it as he closed down the gap even more. Megos just ran away with it with his teammate Hanya, and it's just not going well for the other FRL team. One's on the podium, one's not, as we confirmed that Hepburn is now pretty much dead last, apart from Chris Gedman.
I wonder if Keddy is using the setup that I sent to him.
Why didn't you ask him if he joins us for a post-race interview?
I will ask him. Because if that's the case, I know I made a good setup. I only tried like 3 laps. Reisner closing the gap down to Mego now. I've actually got a timing screen for it. 49.4 seconds behind. I wonder if Mego is just backing it off ever so slightly just to save himself from making a mistake.
Oh, he might be just trying to save some fuel.
Yeah.
You never know. He might have just lost the fuel count in the pit lane, and might have to just slowly but surely gain that fuel back. As indeed myself, I'm switching on the lights at home because it's getting dark in sunny. Well, it was sunny today in England. But yeah, so far we've got 16 minutes left of this race. As Chris Gedman has just hit the wall at Arujan Radion.
Really
needs to make
struggling
a settle
at
for
AMD.
him.
Yeah.
P1, P2, P3 interview after the race. Okay, we'll see what we can do, but we We can't promise anything. We can promise probably one of them, at least. Anyways, folks, my Twitch has gone down, so I'm going to reload it. Yeah, right now we're on board with Keddy, who's looking for potential opportunities to get back at Razor in P2.
If he keeps closing the gap like this, he'll manage it.
Yeah,
It'll be a last lap thing, but I think he'll get there.
Car 47 has got a drive-through track limits, which isn't a very good.
Reason is just going through the source. Keddy is also just going through the source now, so the gap has closed by that much. Keddy's got it in his sights now. Again, that's when it gets dangerous. He's got something to focus on.
Keddy's a very focused person when he's got his eye on something. I noticed that when we were playing Fortnite the other night. He was very focused on in Fortnite killing somebody.
As Keddy goes on a manhunt, we're going to look at this battle between Jacqueline and... Sorry, Skrizzy Petch and DeLuca. DeLuca making a comeback.
And yeah, didn't he get a penalty?
He got a penalty, yeah.
Earlier on in the race, folks. So basically, Chris, if you want to sum up what happened, how would you sum it in like a short sentence? Like what's happened so far?
Many things. Yes. Got some really good driving, really good battles going on. Different strategy playing into it as well.
What's the main thing that's gone on today? Like the main three things that's gone on today?
Rouge and Radion being an issue. A few cars going off there. As the BMW of DeLuca closes the gap in the slipstream. The Porsche goes defensive. 3 wide.
One thing, car 15 drifted into car 722. Penalty for 10-second penalty for car 15.
As DeLuca gets the move done around the outside into.
Mego's got a drive-through. Mego's got a drive-through.
Track limits.
Track limits. So does give the opportunity for Keddy to win the race. As we're coming to the final stages of the race, 13 minutes left of the race. This suddenly is turned into a 10-minute sprint race all of a sudden, even though it's still 13 minutes. And this is where all the fun really starts. Scrap the 2 hours, give me the 10 minutes.
As we go to the rear ring of Riser now, to see if we can see Keddy coming out with a source.
Keddy's there. He's there. He's coming, and we've got some more penalties coming. Car 333 hits car 340. Penalty for car 340 in 10-second penalty for car 340.
As we look at the calm and collected Keddy there, going down the Kemmel Straight.
There's lots of penalties on the track right now, as this probably looks like James is going to try and make this race very exciting. Today,
I think the racers have made the race exciting for themselves. James, I don't think is going to just give penalties out willy-nilly. I think the racers are pushing a little bit hard now.
Yeah, indeed. It's going to be a tough one for maybe some of these folks who've got penalties to deal with it. Maybe at the end of the race. But so far it's going well for everybody really. Apart from maybe if your name's Chris Geverman, sadly. Your car's in the wall at Rouge and Radion. Well, Radion really. As a drive through car number 7, which has already been covered, track limits. But
he's going to serve that at the last possible minute.
He's going to try and get over the way now.
Yeah.
So then he can take this checkered. I kind of want Mego to win today, but at the same time, I want Keddy to.
Keddy is closing that gap, and now Reisner is running into traffic.
Oh. Oh,
who lets him go through nice and easy. Actually, that was a good.
Chris Gedman's not on it. I'm just as I was saving the replay, so I can get some stuff. Chris Gedman's not had a good race today. He's really struggling today. As we have 20 people watching us. Hello, 20 people. Welcome to the stream. If you haven't just if you've just joined us, and so far it's been a tough race for some of our drivers today, as you can clearly see from some of these people.
Right,
indeed.
we're going to stay with Mego now and see if he serves his penalty.
Does he? As he goes through the second sector, now into the third, as he goes round the Les Wagner's chicane, and into Campus, he will go now.
Getting a bit wobbly. I think Mego might have cooked his tyres.
And now coming through the Stavelot final corner for the back stretch and into Blancheron in a second. He's struggling a little bit, I can't lie. Will he serve his penalty? Please can we have a chase cam if possible? Has run the back of him now and into the braking zone. Is he going to go into it?
He's got to. Wide. He's got to. No.
No.
That's going to be a stop go 30.
No, you have 3 laps, don't you, to serve your penalty?
Yeah, he's got 1 lap remaining.
So he has to come in next lap.
Meanwhile, a bit further back, Eddie is down to 3 seconds behind Reisner.
This is getting too close.
2.6.
He's begging for Mego to really be hampered by this penalty now. Whereabouts is Mego on track? And how long is the pit lane?
So the pit lane at Spa, from one to the other end of it, takes 1 minute and 4 seconds.
So it looks like it's been sold to maybe Keddy.
Maybe it's going to be tight as Mego comes back out of the pit lane. There might be a fight on their hands.
Wait, is Mego in the pit lane?
Nope.
No.
Not this lap.
No, he will come into pit lane now, soon, but on this lap. But he's just negotiating traffic at the moment with his ZDR boys. He's simulating a flash for the Aston Martin.
Oh, as the Aston Martin's getting a little bit wobbly up through Eau Rouge.
Is his tyres dead and McLaren's just saved them?
Yeah.
The opposite of what it's normally supposed to do, of east and the north. And I'm going to count how many penalties we've had this race as it comes to the final 7.5 minutes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 penalties so far in this race. Stewards have been keeping busy as we've got 7 minutes left in this race. Mego is going to come into pits. Can we view Mego, please? Car number 7 is on the run from a potential P2
as he comes
finish
into
or
the pits.
P3. Can we stay on board with him from the pits? Actually, no, go on board with Keddy from a chase cam, if possible, please. And he's going through the well, just come out with the Les Wagner's chicane and go through Campus, through Stavelot. Is this going to be enough time with Keddy and Reisner to do it? They need to work together now to catch up past Mego, and we've got 6 minutes left of this race. It's going to be an interesting one, especially
Mego is just
for
going around the tight corner at the bottom of the start of the pit lane.
Oh.
See if we can see Mego in the pit lane as they come past. This is going to be tight.
Yeah, very tight.
Mego still in the pit lane. As the two come down the start-finish straight. Sorry, not the start-finish straight. Up to the run up to Radon Rouge. As Mego is still in the pit lane. There, he's out of the pit limiter board. This is going to be close.
And they're going. Can Mego catch up to the front two as Kenny is fighting for the lead between Reisner and Reisner's. Can we have a chase cam please of Kenny? Oh, that works as well as Kenny's looking for the opportunity. Yeah, looking for the outside. Forced Reisner for an inside move. Switch back maybe. Maybe. Is it? Come on Kenny. Kenny might be doing this now. Going down into Brussels. Can we have a chase cam from Kenny please? As we probably get the best view from this. As they're going through this section, Brussels, and now into Ravage. Kenny all over the back of that Aston Martin. Bumper to bumper. Not quite wing to wing. But is it going to be wing to wing? Now, as the Aston Martin uses all track limits to cover off Kenny. Now, round the outside. Can he make it? Can he make it? Too wide through Puon as he puts the Aston Martin on the curb, but it's all safe now. Too wide, side by side, wing to wing, as I like to call it. Aston Martin goes and is drifting a little bit, but still keeps it cool. Aston Martin looking for an opportunity to escape out of here, and is trying to force Kenny into a mistake to back off, as well as Kenny is trying to force the same mistake onto Reisner as they're coming in through.
There's a mistake. Oh, held it. That was a very slidey Aston through there.
Reisner is going to try and escape on the way up to Blanchimont, as you can barely see the number 7 car of Mego in the background of 3.7 seconds as they go through Blanchimont now into the final chicane. Can we get a chase cam from Kenny please? This is going to really be the best opportunity we can. And he's coming through, going down to the source now as they go. What we can do is sit here and wait. No opportunity. He's going to try and fake it maybe. Kenny maybe a bit too bright on the brakes, but no, he's kept his cool, using all the runoff he can before getting a penalty. He didn't get one obviously, but it's Kenny. He's going down over Rouge now. Can he make it work? Oh, he's gone a little bit wide. That mistake hasn't helped Kenny and allows Reisner in the Aston Martin to pull away now. It's not a good battle for Kenny to lose to. He wants a victory, and Mego's catching up to them. Coming up to half a second from when we last talked about Mego, which was at the final chicane. They need to manoeuvre this, so it could be a 3-car battle for the leagues with 2.5 minutes left of this race now. Who's going to get checkered? Bumper to bumper they are. Reisner's trying to just hold his position, using every single last particle of those tyres and using the best line round here as Kenny looks for a move round the outside potentially, not quite, slots back in, pushes the Aston Martin forward potentially, and is looking for a move into the Les Wagner's chicane, backs off a little bit, gains it through the braking zone, uses all the curb. If he can come through with a win from this race, he'll remember this day forever and ever. And coming out, Kenny looking for a potential manoeuvre, going up to go through Stavelot and coming up through towards Blanchimont as this race is too close to call.
You can see Mego catching in the background.
They're going to do one more lap after this. This is going to be the final lap after this one. It's all down to who can get this race done or dusted.
As the Aston Martin makes a mistake into the entry of that, which is going to allow Kenny to get a good run.
As car 159 should have pulled out of overtake on car 15 in turn 1. Penalty car 159, 10 seconds. Oh
Kenny
no.
getting the run on the exit. What a beautiful switch back.
He's going down the inside, potentially. Well, he's allowed the Aston Martin. No, Kenny, keep going.
No, I think the Aston
As
Martin
they're going
got
through-
more power.
yeah. As Kenny gonna get the manoeuvre coming out. Is he gonna get the run? Can we get chase cam, please?
Oh no, he's going to box
that's-
him behind him.
That's a dirty move from the Aston. That's a dirty move from the Aston.
That's going to make Kelly angry.
Kenny's gonna go ham. Look at Kenny now. Look at Kenny now. Look at Kenny now. Kenny's not happy, and the Aston Martin has a little bit of a wobble. Go on, Kenny. Kenny looking at every manoeuvre, bumps the Aston Martin a little bit. That's allowed. It's not a bad manoeuvre. Kenny into Rivage. Aston Martin knows he's there. Switch back, please. And Kenny's fighting for it as Mego's catching up. You can see the white lights in the background of the mirror as Mego's really catching up now. Maybe Mego and Kenny can work together to get past Resner for the lead of this race, and its final lap, final sector coming up very shortly as they get into the last Magnus chicane. And geez, this is going to be too tight as we're on board with Kenny right now using all the runoff. We might need to do that F7 cam as they're going through Blanchimont. Go to, yeah, when they're through Blanchimont, go quickly to start finish straight if possible. Kenny's bumping him forward, going to get the better run, allows Mego goes wide, eliminates all chances of possibly winning this race maybe, sadly, but Kenny's going to try and get, can we
I want to stick with
F7?
this. I want to stick with this until
Sure?
the end. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, cool. Okay, no worries. Okay. And Mego goes a little bit wide, possibly track limits there. Kenny.
All the traffic at the end. This is going to allow Kenny to get through. Nah,
no,
nah, that's not right.
Aston Martin. Hold on. Nah, that's not right.
As we get the cars finishing now. Across the line everybody comes. And the fireworks in the background. Let's see if I can get a good angle of this. There we go, look at that.
Yeah, beautiful. So your first position is Resner, but there might be some change after the race, so we'll keep you posted.
There's going to seriously be some controversy behind that.
We'll stay with you till after the race, and Kenny in P2, who's going to be furious with P3 Mego, who had to serve a drive-through. P4 is Eli Poe, followed by in P5 Heelman, and in P6 we have Jacqueline. P7 we have DeLuca, who's crossing the line now, I believe. Yes. Followed by Chris. Can you announce this one?
Followed by Scrizzy Patch.
Yeah, and we've got Texeria, P9, P10 we have Scruton, and P Moore, followed by P12, Ekman, and Lee in P13. P14 we have Matei, followed by P15, Richard. P16 is Gromit, followed by P17 Flores, and in P18 we have Roger Williams, in P19 we have Taylor, P20 Phillips, P21 Emoja, Hepburn P22, Gedman in P23. What a great race, and what a great end. Some people might not be happy, some people might. It's going to be an interesting one, but we have got some post-race interviewees.
Go ahead and drag them up. I think you should be able to.
Okay, right, we'll get Blingo in here. Blingo. Hold on, you might have to do because you're admin.
I can do that. Who we're going to have first? We're going to have Christoph up first.
Oh, okay. Hello, Christoph. Very well done to you for racing in this race. It's been tremendous seeing you race today at Spa Francorchamps. How do you think your race went?
Yeah, it was a great effort. Yeah, my teammate got the drive too, but yeah, it was a great experience for me, and maybe it opens new doors, and finally I will start big racing. So yeah, I enjoyed it very well.
Yeah, you did well. How did you find the track conditions? It was quite cloudy, but the track temperature decided to get lower and lower. And how do you find it going dark and stuff at the end?
I absolutely love it. I try to prepare myself this week and just continuously watching the weather and prepare the same conditions maybe. Yeah, some newbie actions here, but I love it, and it was great to adapt myself and play with the traction control and brake balance, how the car changed its behavior during the race. So yeah.
Yeah, great one. Would you like to thank anybody before we have to switch?
Repeat, please. I didn't get it.
Oh,
Anybody you would like to thank for today?
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I nothing more
No
from my
worries.
side.
No worries. Anyways, thank you, Christoph, for racing in the Endurance Championship. Next up, we will have Spalingo, who was one of the, I believe he was one of the team managers for the Simsock car. We'll talk to him about that one.
Have a good night, Christoph.
Bye bye.
Yeah, have a good night, Christoph. Very well done. Can we have... Hello,
Hey.
Spalingo. How are you?
Hi, I mean, after this race, throwing P1 with a DT because of 3 warnings.
Yeah. It was.
What
it
can
was a
be the
tough one for you?
What
It
would
was-
you?
We were.
Yep.
We were watching you, and we feel very, very. It was very tough for you. We thought you had it in the bag. I can't lie. Me and Chris were like, these guys got it in the bag. They ran away with it. But then sadly your drive-through occurred. But you catching at the end, and give it 2 more laps, maybe 1 more lap, would have it.
Yeah, but you know, this is luck and unluck, and to be honest, I'm still happy that I was able to drive 219s when it was like mandatory. When I started my stint, we had the BMW behind us with like 12 seconds, and I wasn't driving for 1 week because I was in Czech Republic, coming from a business trip. So I basically just arrived home before the race. So I'm really happy with this pace still.
Yeah, cool. What do you think about the finish? I know you were behind the Aston Martin and Keddy. What do you think about the finish?
Well, I was so damn happy that they were slowing each other down, obviously. And about the last corner, well, I don't know. I believe the stewards are going to make a decision on it. Like, I don't know if I would have done in a different way compared to the Aston Martin. Because, I mean, backmarkers, but still, like, last corner when you are fighting with, like, 2 other cars behind you, yeah, you still want to keep it in track.
Yeah,
We will see.
It was a bit of a dirty one. I have to admit, it's not always that's normally not how it ends. But, it was a great race.
Yep. I was really happy with it. I mean, I was just driving by myself. At the beginning, I had the push, as I mentioned, but yeah, for the end, it got again like risky and interesting.
Would you like to thank anybody before we have to switch to another person?
Seriously, I would like to say thanks for all of you for the organization. It was a pretty decent race as always. Nice track behavior from the backmarkers, which I really do appreciate. And yeah, for my teammate that he was carrying me.
Yeah, sounds great. Have a great night, and it was great seeing you race and fight for the P1. Unfortunately, you couldn't win, but you'll get them next time, as the saying called.
Have a nice evening.
Yeah, you do.
Next
Can we have
is
Billicky
FRLACC.
next? Yep. Hello, Billicky. How are you?
Hello. I'm alright. Actually,
Yeah,
great.
it was a good race from you. I know you were up near the top 10 and top 5, weren't you?
Yeah. I mean, we was pretty lucky on the end. Not gonna lie, the drive-through for P1.
Oh, yeah.
They was faster. P2 and P3 they were faster. I'm gonna give them that, but It's a race.
Yeah.
Everything could happen. So
What do
we're
you
pretty
think
happy.
Yeah.
what do you think to the way that Reisner handled the last little bit of traffic?
I know. I've just saw the replay, and basically he got to choose to crash into back markers or corner.
Yeah.
So he chose to cut the corner. We see what Stewart's gonna say about that, but
Yeah,
I believe
think
that was a
yeah.
tough choice. Fair. Because
Yeah.
we've got two NP3 like in 310s behind us, and big traffic jam in front of us. And
Yeah.
we decided just to like avoid them.
Yeah, that's a fair enough idea. But yeah, it was interesting. How did you like the conditions of the? It changed tonight and stuff, and it was a bit cloudy and stuff. It all changed a little bit. Not hopefully not rain, but no.
We
there
actually
wasn't
expect rain. Yeah, we actually expect rain.
Yeah, same. I did a bit.
We might even hope for the rain because Aston Martin is decent in mixed condition.
Yeah.
But we got the 2 hours dry racing. Was alright for us as well.
Yeah.
But
Well, anyways, who would you like to thank for tonight?
my teammate Marcin for really great last stint and really good defend from the P2. Appreciate that.
Yeah. No worries. Well, that's great. We'll have to talk to our next interviewee, and our final one for tonight, I believe, which is Tug Burke. Have a great night.
have a great night.
Thank you very much.
Great racing. And our next interviewee is Tug Burke. Hello, Tug Burke.
Hi.
How did you find the end to that race? Know that you were the teammate of Kenny, if I'm correct.
Yeah, Katie and I, yeah. All the credits to Katie, of course, first of all. At the end, yeah, in my opinion, he outbraked himself, and after that, he gained the position back with cutting the corner. So, yeah, the stewards has to watch to it. But
Yeah.
I think P1 was ours, but the stewards has to be, watch it back,
Yeah.
and it's them decision. So,
To be
but
honest, To be honest, you guys had a very good run. To get P2 was a very, very good run for you guys. I enjoyed watching it. I'm pretty sure I can say for Chris, he enjoyed watching it.
Oh yes.
Yeah, it was an interesting one. But how did you find what do you find about the track at the moment? Like, how about the conditions and stuff?
yeah, the conditions in the beginning, I was a little bit struggling because I had full fuel. So yeah, the car was sliding everywhere. So it took me 7 laps to get used to the car. After that, I found my rhythm back. Yeah, and then I was driving constantly 2-minute 20s low. So and after that, Katie came in the car, and then it was over for us. Katie is such a good driver, so all the credits to him.
I have a question for you, Tug.
Yeah.
Do you know which setup you used?
Again?
Do you know which setup you used?
Which SERP?
Setup.
Setup.
Yeah, we used the Coach Day setup.
No.
Yeah, but we tweaked it a bit to our.
I'm not sending Keddy setups ever again.
Nah, Katie tweaked it a little bit, so the car was really stable at the Rouge.
Yeah.
So I really liked it.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Tug Burke. Do you have anybody to thank for tonight?
Yeah, you guys, of course, for your comments, commentary, and the stewards.
Technically
and of course,
deficient commentary, because everything.
Yeah. And for the people that watch on YouTube and Twitch, thanks for watching, and see you next race.
Yeah, cool. We'll see you next race. And
see ya.
We do have one more post interviewee who's just joined the interviews chat, and you definitely want to see this one. Hello, Chris Gedman. How are you?
How are we doing?
We saw your race. We feel sorry for you.
So, I wanted to come in and just give all the punters a little bit of an insight as to why this happened to me tonight in the Mercedes. So,
go on.
I'm normally a Porsche driver, and when I drive the Porsche, I throw the Porsche into the corners and she sticks to the road like glue. I've got her set up perfect. and I've been driving her that much that I'm so used to it. So last minute ditch, I was asked to join Checker tonight, or Ian, to drive the Merc, and I'm trying to drive the Merc like I do the Porsche. So when you go into the likes of Eau Rouge and the Porsche, what I do is I lift off slightly and then floor it as I'm entering the first apex, and it's just goes round the corner like glue. But see, when you do that in the Merc, you get massive snap oversteer.
Yep.
So Ian never warned me about this until my 4th attempt, where I'd already smashed the car 3 times. The second time was a massive lag, which my car froze, and then I appeared halfway around the corner, nearly broke my wrists trying to avoid the wall. And then eventually, I don't know if he's managed to catch it, I did manage a clean lap.
Wow.
Because I didn't lift off like I normally did. I just eased off the throttle slightly, turned into the corners smoothly, and that Merc stuck to the road like glue.
Yeah.
Now, if I was given that insight right at the start of the stint driver swap over, would have been fine.
Yeah.
But I loved it. Great. I just love racing regardless, and I was not quitting whatsoever. I didn't want our team to be penalised, so I just kept going. I think I was in the pits more than I was out.
What's it? Do you think you're going to make a return to the commentary box anytime soon?
I think so. I do like a wee bit of comms every now and again, so I do love my racing and I love my comms as well. So watch this space.
I'll tell you what, Chris, me and you can swap next time.
Oh, Chris did well. Well, okay. Wait, hold on.
If you want to drive that Merc, I'll happily give you it.
Sweet, on it. Don't you worry.
But yeah, it's been a great seeing you race, and it's been great seeing everybody race. Who would you like to thank finally?
Oh, I'd like to thank everyone. I mean, we're all doing such a fantastic job in the background. We're just getting bigger and better. We're over 1,000 members. It's just this is where we'd no, not even an inclination that we were going to be at this position so quickly in the year. James had certain aspirations that he posted in the podcast months ago, saying where he would like to have been. He's also kind of kept the admin team in the loop as well with that kind of thing, and it's way beyond that. We're just getting bigger. I say 2,000 members by this time next year. Boom!
Jeez, I mean, it's not a push, because you guys are actually rocking the whole ACC community. You're really stirring up some names and you're getting them in here.
I know.
But it's been great. Tonight we're going to have to end off. Who's your driver of the day, Chris?
My driver of the day, it's got to be Keddy. He pushed that lad in first place to his absolute limits. And I think he pushed him that hard that he made a wee mistake right at the very end to stick his advantage to get the pole. So I don't know what's happened there. So let's see what happens and what unfolds. But Keddy, my driver of the day. Tugbert had a great run himself, and Keddy came in and dominated and took that car right up to the tailpipe of the first place. So and pressurised him so much. So. Well done.
And the other Chris, what's your driver of the day?
I've got to say it's probably Keddy again. Just a spectacular in the last half, just munching through it.
I think he deserved it. He's my driver of the day. Well, anyways, folks, I've got to end it off today. Chris, did you have something to say?
No, great. I'll catch you later on, guys. Okay, thanks very much.
No worries. Well, anyways, folks, all things have to come to an end, and all the good things do as well. I've been your host, NMR Porsche, aka Ollie, and Chris here has been amazing at doing cameras and talking to me during the race, so I would like to thank him. It has been great commentating with you, and I'll catch you all later in round 4 of the Endurance Championship. Well, actually, coming up soon on FRL is the British, the Pure Sim Gear challenge.
Sorry to interrupt you. We have one more interview from the actual race winner.
Okay, so folks, before we drag him in here, this last interviewee is going to be a bit of a spicy one, since he was involved in the last lap incident. Well, I don't even know if you can call it an incident, but the man himself, Resner. Please can we bring him here?
Yep. Hello, Mr.
Hello,
Resner.
Reisner. How are you?
I'm so bad speak this English. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
No worries.
Don't worry.
I'm explain last corner chicane.
Yeah.
So many bad markers. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no chance to avoid this crash. So I'm deciding to cut this. I'm also no chance. This P2 does not.
Yeah, so he chose to cut the track rather than run into a back marker.
Yeah. And guys,
that's
there's no chance. And
Lift
don't worry.
enough to let the time come back.
This is three guys, and so fast braking point.
Yeah.
And so slow, and nothing to do.
yeah. Fair
Yeah,
enough.
we saw that.
And
We
this
did
is
see
very good race. This fight, many five, maybe 6 laps. Last this fight, this man saw some. And thank you for this pretty.
Yeah.
Pretty much very good fight, yeah, and clean.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
clean racing
Yeah.
today.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. As we were watching, to be honest, if I was in your situation, I would probably done the same thing. Like, you couldn't have done much there. You're fighting for the race lead. It was a tough one, but thank you for explaining the incident here in the commentary box. It really helped out.
Yes, guys. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
streaming.
No worries.
No worries.
And
You have a good night.
anyway,
Good
yeah,
night,
you
good
have
night,
a
guys.
good night. Yeah. Well, anyways, folks, that's it, and we've got to come to an end, sadly. But we've got the Pure Sim Gear GT3 back here on Friday night next weekend, and I believe we will have the Ferrari World Tour as well next Wednesday. And we do have some more stuff. I'm pretty sure. It's just I cannot see it coming up soon.
Yes, very many
But,
more things.
Very many. But thank you, Chris. Anything else to say?
I really enjoyed today. I apologise again for the technical difficulties. Everything just decided not to work for me. I will fix it for next time I do it.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. Anyways, folks, things must come to an end, and that's been all today. We'll catch you later. Bye.